Hello and welcome along to DR Sports. My name's Nicky Hawkins for this huge London derby over at White Hart Lane. We're very close to there. I could see them all going in there as I was driving in. As you've just seen, don't forget there is a new F1 channel over at it's on the Track GP. Go and give it a subscription before you do that. But we are here for the football today. Chelsea versus Tottenham. They don't get any bigger than this. Crucial game for both sides at a crucial part of the season. Tottenham looking to secure their top four status, while Chelsea are looking to salvage something from this one. Could be dangerous if they don't. Got a Tottenham and Chelsea fan here to watch it along with me, of course. Tom, who's representing Chelsea today. How you doing, mate?
Very nervous. Yeah. Incredibly nervous because just want to win so badly. Just we need it at this point. Like, we can't be having any more draws, any more losses. And Tottenham, we got a good record, so
it's a fantastic record, isn't it, Dean?
Yeah, very poor record from Spurs. Great record from Chelsea. I'm the same as Tom. I'm nervous. Don't know what to expect. The universe says Chelsea win, but Spurs need the 3 points. Like, we need to show the league that we can compete.
Are you confident that? I mean, Chelsea haven't been in the best of form. Yeah. Which is probably an understatement, isn't it, Tom, to be honest? You know, they've got a lot of settling in, players settling in, a lot of bedding in to do. Confident this could be the time? You need it, don't you?
Yeah, we need it. And look, we got Ullman, Stellini's got a 100% record across Inter Milan and Spurs. We're 11 points clear of Chelsea. We can go 14 today. That would be, and we've only finished above Chelsea 3 times in like 22 years or something like that. So we're in form from the last 2 games. So yeah, hopefully we can get the 3 points, man.
Gosh, you say universe says Chelsea win, but form says Spurs win. I mean, yeah, we're not used to this. We're not used to Spurs being better than us. We're really not. But I think for Potter, it's got to be one where he's got to go out and make a statement. And you say you guys need it, but I can't tell you how much we need a win today. I mean, I think there'll be the biggest sigh of relief over in West London if we can win this one, because we looked all right, and then the next game we looked awful, and it's just never been able to get over the line. So good luck. You're not going to have a better chance of beating us, I don't think. Yep,
and I think we're at home. We've got a home advantage. If the crowd get behind the team, I see a tight win for us today.
I mean, look, I'm a West Ham fan. Of course, I've seen both your teams over the last couple of weeks. I must say, in terms of performances, Tottenham just edged it for me. Yeah. They was slightly better than Chelsea were on a day. But listen, we've seen it. Anything can happen in London derbies. That's the good thing about London derbies. Big game for both sides. Tom, is it imperative, before we go into the starting lineups, is it imperative that Chelsea do win today? Because listen, there's going to be some real trouble if you don't get into that, even European places, isn't there?
Well, I don't like looking at things game by game, and I'm been vocal. I support Graham Potter. I think in time he'll make us good. But I think with the way our fan base is, you can see we're an absolute wreck as a fan base, as a club at the moment. I think just on that and that alone, we really do need to win, and at the bare minimum not lose today, because the noise, the toxicity, it will just get louder and louder and louder, and it'll be really hard.
I mean, as a fan base, you're not really used to hanging on to these managers too long. I mean, what's his name? The guy, Bowley, is it?
Todd Bowley.
Todd Bowley. I was going to call him Ted. Ted Lasso. But Ted Bowley, Todd Bowley comes in. He spends money like Roman Abramovich, but he's also got a little bit of patience, which maybe Chelsea fans have not got.
Oh, I love it. I think Todd Bowley's been superb since he's come in. I mean, his recruitment, he's recruiting for the long term. It's not all about this season. It's about going forward and really building a 3, 4, 5 year plan. And that's what we've lacked, and that's why we've fallen so far behind. Liverpool, Arsenal, City, even United now. So I think it's brilliant. But you're right, our fan base isn't used to it. I mean, the thing I hate the most on social media is when I get people saying to me, we're Chelsea, we succeed by sacking managers and then getting a new manager bounce. And I don't think that's what we really want our club to be, or a lot of people really want our club to be.
That's what's wrong with football.
Yeah, I think.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, I think
Even me, to a certain extent, with the Moyes out and all this.
Look, we have like, for example, our fan base split Conte out, Conte in. I think the lack of patience from fans. I think we expect more than what the realism is telling us. At the
end of the day, there's only one team that can win the league, isn't there? There's
exactly.
only 4 teams that can get to the Champions League.
And there's 2 domestic trophies and in Europe. Yeah.
So unrealistic. Let's have a look at the Chelsea lineup then. Being the other way, should we look at the Chelsea or the Tottenham one? Let's look at the Tottenham one first. It's Fraser Forster with that long-term injury to Lloris. Should be back in about a month, shouldn't he? Surely, hopefully. Romero, Dyer, Lenglet, Davies, Emerson Royale, who's been impressed me lately, to be honest. His form's really improved. Oliver Skipp, Højbjerg, Kulusevski, Richarlison and Kane. No Son, despite scoring against West Ham last week.
No Son. I think he's gone with the same team, obviously, against that he went with against West Ham. I think Son is, when he's been starting, he's not been in the best of form this season.
Well, let me give you a stat there. Tottenham Son Heung-min has scored 4 goals in 2 substitute appearances in the Premier League this season, compared to just the 1 in his 20 starts. It's more sub to goals than any other player this season. One no Spurs player has ever scored 5 from the bench in a single Premier League campaign. They could make a record today.
He could make a record, and that's the impact Son can have coming into the game when legs are tired. Because he's been starting and he's been of no effect. So give Richarlison also needs some minutes. He needs a goal. Hopefully he get one today. But he needs a goal as well. So I think Stellini's gone with the right team.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go through the Chelsea lineup then. It's Kepa. Is in goal. Is the other keeper injured still?
Mendy's he's had surgery on his finger, and I mean it's been quite quiet. But since the World Cup, he's not been in the fold at all. It's been Bettinelli on the bench. It's Kepa. But I think Kepa's been his first choice since Potter's come in.
He has. Kepa starts in goal. It's Ben Chilwell, Koulibaly, Thiago Silva, who's captain today, Reece James, Enzo Fernandez. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's getting a lot of playing time at the moment under Potter. Raheem Sterling, the fantastic Joao Felix, Hakim Ziyech, that's surprising, and Kai Havertz. I said that was surprising about Ziyech. He wanted to leave the club not too long ago. Yeah,
but he's good against Spurs. He always seems to have a good game against Spurs. But I will say to you, Dean, mate, we are Charity FC, and Richarlison, he's not got a better chance to score his first goal of the season today. We always seem to give out of form strikers free goals against us. I mean, we did it with Andy Carroll against West Ham so many times, and non-prolific strikers seem to have a field day against us. So I'm going to call it.
Well, talking about non-prolific strikers, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is on the bench for Chelsea today. Kai Havertz preferred over him. I mean, I'm looking through the bench here. There isn't another striker, I don't think. I think it's just him. Is that the only striker you got at the club?
We've got David Fofana, who started...
Oh, Fofana is there, yeah, you're right.
He's not on the bench today.
Oh, no, Wesley Fofana's on the bench.
David Fofana started last Saturday. I thought he was all right. I mean, Potter hooked him at half-time, but I actually think that, he's a young guy. We were going to loan him out, and I think... we were a bit unsure of what to do with him because Aubameyang's been out of favour, Havertz has been out of form. I think today he's just said, it's a London derby, we've got to go with the tried and tested. Aubameyang's got quite a good record with Arsenal against Spurs, I think. Yeah. So, except when he missed that pen, of course, to stop them getting top 4. But I think that's why he's done that. I think we'll see if it pays off. We've got such a big squad. We've got 31 in our squad this season, so there are going to be players that miss out on the team. I mean, the most surprising omission today is Badiashile, because he's played every week really in the league. Really good against West Ham, good generally, and misses out for Koulibaly
he's on
today.
The bench today. Someone that does come in is Raheem Sterling, and Chelsea's Raheem Sterling has scored 6 Premier League goals against Tottenham, including 2 at White Hart Lane and 1 at Wembley. He could become the 3rd player to score against Spurs at each of their 3 home venues in the competition, after Alexander Mitrovic and Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, see, I'll take that.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Come on, let's get some predictions then. We've got a little 15 minutes before we kick off. How do you see this one going?
They're going to be goals. I think it's going to be, I'll say 2-1 Spurs nick it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think cagey. I think it's going to be a draw. I think it'll be 1-0, 0-0. Well, 1-0, we can't score at the moment. So if there's going to be goals, you're pretty much betting on yourself to score them. We can't score. We do everything but put the ball in the net. So 0-0, 1-1. I don't think we'll lose, but I want to have the faith that we're going to win. I love Graham Potter, but we'll have to see. We've got to get out of this at some point. We've got to score.
Home form has improved over the last couple of games. They lost 4 of 5 before the Man City game, but have gone on to beat West Ham and Man City since then. So they're looking to get 3 in a row for quite a while, I think.
Yeah, we just need some consistency, like 2, 3, 4 wins off the back, like just some consistency. We were very inconsistent. So coming in today, I was like, I'm not confident, but look, we're at home. On our day, we can beat Chelsea. And I think it's the best time to play them. And hopefully, fingers crossed, like we come out with the 3 points.
Haven't beaten us in 8.
Yeah,
8 games. You've scored about 2 goals in that time, or 3 goals. I'm hoping that past record trumps form today because
you lot bat last season. I think we played you 4 times, and you lot killed us every single time.
Yeah, we were really good. I mean, I think Tuchel had Conte's number, but got Conte to play a back 4, which he never does, never ever does.
Yep.
So that was we almost won the game before the players got on the pitch when we saw he did that. Oh, honestly.
At this stage of the season, Tom, is this a must-win for Chelsea? Because if they don't, realistically, their top 4 ambitions are over for the season, aren't they? If they're not already.
They're already over. I think a lot of fans at this point, it's like we don't want bottom half. We don't want to get relegated. I think fans will give time, but they want
relegated.
What?
There is talk that there are some fans that are so negative that we're not going to get 40 points. For me, I think a lot of fans just view that if we get mid-table, that's fine. This season's a write-off. And I mean, what a lot of people don't realise is our signings are long-term signings. They weren't brought in. We didn't spend that money in January to get top 4. I genuinely don't think we did. We did that to build for the long term, make the summer more productive, where we've not got players flying in from, here, there and everywhere. We've got a squad. So, I don't know, I think a season without Europe, maybe it won't be the worst thing. I mean, under Conte, won the league. And, Arteta had a season without Europe, and it's look where Arsenal are now. So
what about the ramifications of the financial fair plays? And I know they've stretched out contracts over a long time, but I'm still trying to work out whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. You've got all of these regulations now coming in. Who knows what's going to happen? We've got it's a little bit uncharted territory. And if they start bringing these sanctions in and stopping you from spending, you could be stuck with those contracts you've just signed.
But I think I'm right in saying that UEFA FFP is stricter than the Premier League's. So if we don't make UEFA competition, course.
Yeah, I think it's going to kick in next season.
Yeah.
But the Premier League want to be above the other leagues, particularly with the talk of a Super League. So I don't think that the Prem will get stricter. I think if UEFA, I know want to get UEFA didn't like what we did. I mean, I'm not worried about the money front because we're investing for the long term. Like, these players are only going to get better. There are areas we need to improve, and people think, they've spent 600 mil, they've got a complete squad. Chelsea haven't got a complete squad. Our midfield is still bare. Our forwards, we haven't got a striker. We haven't got a striker that scores goals. So,
what do you think of that 600 million no striker?
I think when Romelu Lukaku came in, got our fingers burnt a little bit by that. Perhaps they thought, let's see, City did it without a striker. We can try and see how we do. And I think the market there weren't any strikers on the market last summer. So the club don't want to rush this rebuild. They're not going to bring in players for the sake of it. And I mean, there's Ivan Toney, there's Victor Osimhen, who we've been linked with. It's going to take time, and if we can get some progress and some results, I'm hoping that people will accept it, because we can't just keep hiring and sacking, and we can't keep relying on short-term fixes.
I mean, I will take some comments just before we kick off, but I've got to touch on that a little bit in terms of where our clubs are. We're 3 different stages. You've got a super rich club like Chelsea. You've got a well-run club like yourself. We've got a tight-ass club like ours. Although not this season. What does this mean this announcement, because West Ham's chairman David Sullivan was the first to put the boot in, really saying, who are they really? The government to get involved? They don't know how to run a bath.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And he believes in free enterprise. I mean, I'm split in whether I want it, because I don't like the way football is going. I don't like the way it's going. I think it's getting to a point, it's getting to a crescendo where it's getting to the point where it's becoming unsustainable. And I think for the fans' sake, I went to book some tickets the other day for WWE. Yeah. £1,000. Oh wow! A ticket to go and see one of the pay-per-views. I don't think it will be that long before football get to that point where it's ungoverned, unrealistic prices, and it's all about the tourists and stuff like that. So I'm a bit split between it, the two of them. And one point says to me, David Sullivan just wants to make sure his interests are sorted out, and another says to me, maybe the government are right. The fan needs to be thought about. Yeah. It's coming out of control, isn't it?
I mean, it depends on what this regulator does, what its powers are, what it's trying to do. I mean, you look at. I mean, speaking as a Chelsea fan, and I think Spurs, it probably is quite similar that we've got no atmosphere in our stadium because it is all literally tourists. It's far older people than it was before because tickets are so expensive.
No, we got atmosphere.
It's you've got better than us, but it's like you've also got a bigger stadium. But it's that we don't going to games just for a lot of people. It doesn't have the thrill it used to have. And compared to the NFL, I mean, they have fewer games, but look how much NFL tickets are as well in the US. Like, it depends what this regulator does.
That's what I'm saying. Unregulated, and I think football is it's a funny old game, as a famous Tottenham striker used to say, and Chelsea striker both. Who played for all three of our clubs, actually, Jimmy Greaves. As a famous Tottenham striker, it's a funny old game, football, and it's immoral. It's more and more immorality is coming into the game. You've got people that, if they was to, let's be honest, and I don't want to be too controversial, it's not my channel, so it's not my place to say, but there's certain people coming into the game now, if they were taking over a local restaurant, you'd say absolutely not. They're not coming into our community. Yeah. They come into football, we're wearing headscarves and you know what I mean, and waving flags around,
shouting, screaming.
It's crazy, isn't it? Maybe the fans have got a little bit to say about it.
I think it should be. Look, I agree with, obviously, business. Our clubs are businesses at the end of the day. There's a business side to football. Let's all be honest here. And I believe, in terms of, like, for example, takeovers and these heavy investors coming into football clubs, I don't see that as a problem. What I see the problem is that I do believe there should be caps on how much you can spend in a window, because then it gets the businesses and clubs thinking more strategically. You go, okay, cool. If we can only spend X amount, let's proper think about who we want to bring into the club, and it also gives a chance to then bring through a lot of academy players.
I mean, I had to laugh on Twitter the other week. I was having a good old giggle, I must say, against a guy that was deadly serious. That says it's not the likes of Chelsea ruining football; it's the likes of Everton charging them £60 million for his player and wanting, wanting 90 million for Brighton wanting 90. They're the ones that are ruining football. I mean, that is the most.
That's nonsense.
It's not the most nonsense thing. If they're going to pay it, people are going to ask for it. They think they could, And I think he said what they should be doing is, bear with me. This is a true story. What they should be doing is taking them off of the club for as much as the club paid. So if they've paid £2 million for, say, Cucurella, they should be paying Brighton £2 million, and if he's any good, then they give him more. And I was like,
what?
Who does that?
What is going on?
Who does that? You don't go to a Foot Locker and say, I want those pair of night trainers.
Yeah, I'm going to pay what you made them for, 10 quid. And if they're any good, I'll give them an extra 100.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
What about the effort to coach the player?
But I will say that, like, around the Chelsea takeover, that was the most toxic I've ever seen social media within the Chelsea space, because you've got some people that want to argue for what they would see as right. They don't want certain investors coming in. they get completely attacked and abused by people that just want the owner with the most money. And it's now getting to a point where you're kind of, who do you put first? Do you put first what you think is right? Do you put first your football club at all costs? And it was really horrible. I mean, I hope that neither of your clubs have to go through a kind of takeover and how publicly that was done. It was just horrible to be a fan at that time. I mean, because honestly, the kind of constant talk of investors, sort of the government getting involved and everything, it wasn't very nice.
But this is, I mean, it's not going to be the first, it's not going to be the last time that this sort of thing happens, I'm sure, with, you know, the sort of characters that are coming into football. You know, it's getting uncontrollable. The finances are getting uncontrollable, and somebody needs to step in to do so. You cannot be paying football players, 600,000, 700,000, 800,000 pounds a week, and you've got institutions, community-built clubs down in the lower leagues going bust of 100 grand. If that's happening, something's wrong. You know, 100 grand and a club went bust over 100 grand. Gone. Could put 125 years of history down the drain. You've got players playing in this game, probably all of them, earning as much as that a week.
But you saw that with the Super League, they just tried to buy the smaller clubs off. They just said, we'll give this money to the EFL. But it's like, it's more than that. You can run a if you run a closed shop, it doesn't matter how much money you give to the lower clubs. You know, you're giving, you know, you want to give millions and that, but it needs to be a pyramid, and it needs to be. The problem with like a transfer cap is if we do it in the Premier League, then PSG will buy all the top players because they'll just outbid us. So I think it has to be a UEFA wide or even a FIFA wide thing, because if it isn't,
I think the bubble's coming to an end. I mean, there's going to be a big club go under in the next 5 years.
You think so?
Do you think?
Yeah,
it's not going to be Spurs.
It's not going to be Chelsea.
It's not going to be
Barcelona. I think it'll be Barcelona.
You think so?
Yeah, they've sold off too many. You know, they sold off a lot of stuff for the short term, but long term wise,
they're just about.
It's not sustainable.
Somebody will save them. Somebody will save them. They're huge. Like somebody will come in, that Spotify guy maybe, or the Spanish government.
Like that, you know what I mean? But the
Catalan government.
Because they're run by fans. They run like fan ownership.
Yeah, they are, and
then
they built a big complex around the new camp to try and get like tourists to go on a random Wednesday and, you know, get Barca pictures and. But, you know, they've sold off all their media rights to sign Rafinha, who's been dreadful until about a week ago. So.
Right, let's go for some comments then before we get to kick off. We're just about 3 minutes away now. Happy Human says Chelsea spent £600 million and can't score, and he's laughing uncontrollably after that. Right. Alfred Russ says top four isn't over. If we win today, we are 7 points behind fourth place. Plenty of games left. There is plenty of football to play.
It's
over. Explain the benefits of fasting. I don't know what that means. G-Mac says spent £250 million in the summer. What the heck are you on about? 600 million, I think, after January.
I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was 600 over the two
windows.
Yeah. I think it was.
So when we say 600 million, we're not saying in January.
But people talk about that money being spent. It wasn't being spent to make us good this season. Unlike under Roman, where players are spent, you know, for the immediate term, our owners are saying, look, we'll bring these guys in, and they're only going to get better and better over their long-term deals. So that's why I'm not as worried about that money being spent. There's a lot of people that want to kind of laugh at it. You can do that, but these players aren't going to get, you know, they aren't going anywhere, and they're only going to get better. Like, they're all before their prime, the players we brought in, particularly in January, you know.
Douglas Buckland says Chelsea getting relegated could not happen to a better team. That would be hilarious. Someone asked if I was having a hair transplant. That's why I've got a hat on. No, unfortunately, I've got the flu, and I'm freezing. I'm freezing cold, and I need to stop the heat escaping from my head. So yeah, I've got a hat on today. So
come on, boys.
Right,
I'm so nervous, Dean.
Come
mate.
on, boys.
All's fair in love and war, man. If we win this game, I'll be insufferable, mate. I'll tell you that.
If you lose, I won't be surprised.
If we lose, I'll be even less surprised. Oh, goodness.
Let's go.
In terms of the prices of things, someone said look at the price of the fight tonight. For the pay-per-view between a Love Island star and a YouTuber.
Yep.
Yeah.
it's awful, isn't it? I mean, it's that kind of influence of I don't say influence of fan culture, because what the grassroots fans do is amazing, but you see those fights like the Jake Paul fight, stuff like that.
I think it's brilliant. I want if they can build up a hype around themselves and make themselves a bit of money, I think it's amazing.
I'm not saying it, but it's scary in a way that these guys, doing a fight, and now you see how big it gets. I was walking on a shop on the way here, and there was a sign outside this little corner shop saying "Prime sold here." That shows you how that culture of that newfound sort of fan influencer culture, it's everywhere now, and it's like crazy money. It's scary how you saw those people paying 20 quid a bottle of Prime. It's bonkers.
Yeah.
It's nice though. I like it.
I've not tried it.
I've tried it. Yeah.
What's it taste like?
It's very sweet though.
Is it like fruit juice?
Yeah, it's fruit.
Yeah, I would say like fruit juice. Yeah, I went to Sainsbury's. I had some in Sainsbury's. It was all right. Yeah.
We're off.
Couple of quid. Yeah, we have kicked off, by the way.
Ooh. Chelsea, don't let me down today.
Come on,
please.
Spurs. So you're just letting them play. You can't let them play through.
We just need something. We need something today. And I don't care how. It could be anything. Like.
Hold it for stop, please.
Tip Kalas, get the ball, hold it, and then just give it straight back to you like that. It's just.
I can see Diaz going to be pushing up further into midfield.
So you think he's going to be that quite aggressive central centre back, and then you've got.
Yeah, he already done. He already made that step just before Forster got the ball.
Well, Chelsea, I was saying for we're the only team that's got Conte to play a back four, and I'd love to see Stellini. Hopefully we can continue to dominate him as well. Is that a pen? Is that a pen?
Come on, man, get up, man.
No.
I think there was a shout there.
Man, that's not a pen.
VAR will look at that.
I think so. Play that. Oh,
that's not a pen.
Strike.
Not a pen.
Yeah, they are.
Let's see what's happening here.
Absolutely.
They're convinced.
Adamant that there's a penalty here
Where's
somewhere.
the pen?
Every football player is adamant though. Come on,
Don't
it's
do
being
this 2 minutes
checked.
into a game.
Please.
Where's the pen?
It's the only way I trust us to score.
Come off his hand there.
Where's the pen? He kicked the ball.
Let's see.
I don't know. It come off his hand,
His hand,
there.
yeah.
Think that's hand?
No, that's a
not
dive by
pen.
Sterling.
It was a bit. But is it the hand?
No, his hand is in his chest. Come on, man. That's
Sterling's
not a pen.
dived there.
Come
Get
on,
booking
boys.
for that.
Oh, I don't think he's going to give it. Is he going for the screen?
No way.
Is he going for
Are
the
you
screen?
taking a
No, I don't think.
I don't think he is he?
play on? Yeah, man.
Nowhere near a penalty.
I have Chelsea fans screaming at me, but it kind of looked a bit too good to be true.
Yeah,
it was.
Is that what Sterling's on? All right, cool. Let's play. Hope we win.
Honestly, that'd have been our best chance of scoring. The way we've played recently, pen's probably the only way I would back us to score. And we just sold our blooming penalty taker. So I don't even know who'd take it if we did get a penalty. Like, that's where our club's at the moment.
Go on.
Oh no.
Ooh.
That looked like a bit of a.
Tottenham.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, they're going to play it from the back. See? You let them play it from the back.
Go on,
How
play
do
him.
you do
Play him.
that?
Oh, poor ball.
Come
poor
on,
ball.
man. Back to keeper.
D-Med, do you see Conte staying beyond the season?
I want him to, but I hope he does. But then again, he's even said he's had a tough year. He might, you know what I'm saying, his family still, he's living in a hotel over here.
I'm not his biggest fan from his Chelsea days, but we do all hope he gets better. I mean, it's
100%.
never pleasant to be having surgery like that. Oh, goodness me.
Oh, what a boy, he saw it though, Kepa saw it.
That shirt almost looked like he blended into the grass there. I thought it was crazy scenes, but
Just get hold of the ball, man.
been quite an open start to the game, hasn't it? Like, but since we, let's see what
Emerson's keeping Porro on the bench.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen that Emerson since Porro's come in. Emerson's been so much better than he was. I mean, we used to banter him all the time. Like, Emerson were our worst right back to come into the Premier League, and
His form's really improved lately.
Yeah.
we did think that with Havertz once we brought in Felix and Fofana, but Havertz has gone back to his same old self, sadly. God, I mean, that
Yeah,
man Ben
Chelsea.
Chilwell, he's
They're
massive. We
aggressive.
got him back because I love Marc Cucurella, but he's had a horrible year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been burgled according to reports. I mean, he's struggled on the pitch.
He's had his head pulled.
Had his, oh, don't you dare behave, will ya? I'm not having that. Not having that.
Since his head's been pulled,
It's like you know
it's not been the same.
just like they forgot to draw the offside lines. They forgot to deem someone pulling somebody's hair as a foul. It's just honestly.
The results of a poll coming. Tottenham win 37%, draw 34%,
there
we
and
go.
Chelsea
So you
win
played-
24%. So although their form has been over the last 8 games has been pretty
Poor.
much impeccable,
Yeah.
you know, they don't fancy Chelsea today.
Last 8 games, eight Spurs games against Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, Spurs have been awful. I mean, I think the fact that we have a new coach. I mean, Thomas Tuchel seemed to just know how to beat Spurs. It was like the olden days where 3-point lane and all that. I mean, it was brilliant. We just we'd go, we'd pick up our 3 points, and we'd be on our way home. It would be, and then you started to actually become quite good, which was sad.
Yeah, Poch turned it around. Well, Harry.
I was talking to a Spurs friend the other day. 15 years since you've
last
last won,
trophy.
and and it was us who you beat that day.
That was
I mean,
our anniversary. That our anniversary was this week. 15
I remember.
years.
I was a little kid. I was in crying my eyes out when we lost that cup final. Knowing me,
that?
But the fact that
That
it's
Woodgate, Jonathan Woodgate, innit?
15 years. Time flies, doesn't it? Time flies when you're having fun watching Spurs not win trophies.
Yeah. It's Chimbunda was in that squad.
Jonathan Woodgate.
Yeah, Woodgate.
Go on. Oh, we just
Got across there.
cannot score.
He needed to wrap his foot around that, Joao Felix.
To be fair, I think he had to lunge to get that, didn't he? Let's have a look.
Yeah, so look at the run.
I like the
that
build-up
the
though.
Davies.
Square it.
Look.
Sterling was in acres of space.
Langley.
Square it.
Oh, he just couldn't get there.
I mean, how much do you think? Lloris being out is a miss for Spurs. I mean, I've never particularly rated him.
He's been declining. So we've just lacked in not planning for that decline. So which is why we've left with Forster in goal. But
It reminds me like of Bayern bringing in Sommer. You know, because Neuer's been out for so long, they
So
brought in
long,
Sommer for world class cover, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, and you've Joe Hart and Fraser. It's like you're going through,
Yeah, going
Roy
through
Hodgson's
Bad
England.
foul there.
just going through
Happens here.
all the old age keepers.
Yeah, it's all
English keepers,
the
yeah.
England banter here. Oh goodness me!
Come on, that was
Late
nothing,
one.
man. Come on.
Anything in that? Oh yeah, that's naughty.
Nasty one, that one.
Behave, Dyer.
Eric Dyer.
Welcome to
That's
Derby.
the old school, letting him know he's
Yeah,
there. You know what I mean?
exactly. Welcome to
Hey.
London Derby, mate.
Felix.
Chelsea have started really well, though.
Yeah,
Felix has just fitted our team like hand in a glove. I mean,
it's a
it's been
6-month loan, isn't it?
6-month loan, 10 million. But I think there's talk that if we want him, we'll be able to get him. So, and I think at the moment we have to because he's been awesome. And Simeone seems to have just completely shackled him at Atletico because he was so poor.
Something there.
Romero.
Romero's gone
Yeah,
down.
Romero.
I think we're reminding them that we're here because Romero at the bridge was naughty.
AKCB wants to complain to Robbie and get me the axe. Okay, mate, you can complain to him. I'm sure he'll listen. Chelsea are going to win this one, says Arsenal Maniac. Spurs will never win trophies, says Keyboard Warrior.
Correct.
Jack Napier says Chelsea fan forcing a rivalry as always.
That's what they all say, but then when we win stuff, they say that we got no history. So
Arsenal got Jesus and Zinchenko for the same amount as Chelsea paid for Mudryk. It's ludicrous.
is it? Mudryk's been brought in for the long term. I mean, Zinchenko is a young player, and Jesus, but we have to accept the window as it was. We had the chance to sign Jesus. Tuchel said no, and then 2 weeks later he changed his mind. Did you guys read about that? I mean, I do think we should have signed Jesus, but if we did, would we have also got Raheem Sterling I suspect
I
probably
think
not.
Jesus would have struggled at Chelsea. I don't think you not play to his strengths.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think you don't play to Jesus' strengths.
I mean,
I think Arsenal was the best team for him to go to.
people always talk about, Chelsea wanting that big striking, that big powerful, your Drogba's, your Diego Costa's,
That's what Chelsea are. That's what they need.
But I don't know. I mean, I think Graham Potter's trying to move beyond that. I mean, to an extent, anyone would take a prime Drogba or a prime Costa, but I don't know. I think in time we might be more of that kind of technical forward that Arsenal, City have. Lots of people saying we'd take Harry Kane, but I don't think that's
never happening.
Levy, I don't think wouldn't dream of it.
Yeah, if that's happening, he's going to take the piss.
We could offer him the LA Dodgers and all of Todd Bowley's sports clubs, and he still wouldn't accept it, would he? I mean,
was that an elbow there swung? Felix has gone down. I'm sure they will look at it again.
He's been in the wars, hasn't he? Has Pedro Porro briefed the Tottenham team to just obliterate Felix after all that stuff with his,
missus.
Stuff with the missus? I mean...
Keyboard Warrior says Chelsea will be back competing next season on the one after. Spurs will be Spurs. This is coming from an Arsenal fan. Keyboard Warrior.
I hope he's right. I mean, it seems that Arsenal fans are joining us today. I mean,
KCB is asking me to clarify a comment. What comment? Jace, is there a comment that I've said? No, I can't hear nothing. Hopefully gets a hat-trick for my fantasy team, says Citizen Phillips.
Who gets a hat-trick?
Who gets a hat-trick?
Hopefully Kane gets a hat-trick.
Oh, no, don't give me that. I can't mentally be dealing with that.
That was not good.
Yeah, I've been impressed with our start, but you can play as well as you want, but you've got to score goals. And if you don't score goals, you don't win games. I'm not going to do Michael Owen and go, if you don't score goals, you don't win very often.
Block.
That's probably the greatest comment of all time, right?
That was just, BT, I think, realised they had to get rid of him because we just come up with that. He's...
Richarlison missing again, says Victor Go, and straight after Noble Armo says Richarlison's on form today, so he's splitting opinion at the same time. Monty says, why is West Ham so inconsistent this season? Because we're rubbish.
Yeah.
We've just been rubbish. Tactics. Yeah.
Look at that, 67% possession for Chelsea. That's not what we would...
We're playing like we're at a bridge.
It's not what we're used to. And I think the players are still trying to get used to that kind of possession football and breaking teams down. We're useless against low blocks. So I think Stellini's probably wanted it, but...
Zul Amri says, Keyboard Warrior, it took 4 years for Arsenal to keep to come back competing. Keep dreaming if Chelsea can come back next season. 4 years? It took 20. It took 20 years for Arsenal to come back from anything.
Gosh.
4 years.
Baku, what a day that was. All those Arsenal fans telling us our era was over.
That game.
Beautiful.
Tanik
Go on.
Bennett says Potter will get sacked and end up at West Ham. I'll
No
take
way.
him, to be honest. I'll take him.
Nah, Potter's seeing out. Potter's 5 years. I back him. I back him completely. I think.
Kulu.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that.
He spread his wide.
Awful
It's
defending.
Davis.
Go on, Davis. Please be a good ball into the box.
He's cut it out. Give
Wake
it back to
up,
Kane, who
boys.
can get this on the edge of the area. He likes his.
Wake up! Thank you, Koulibaly. It's embarrassing that defending.
Better from you.
Good from Kane.
It's embarrassing.
Well done, Kane.
Why is there a free man there? What is that defending? We'll play
better
well,
for
we'll
them.
attack, we won't score, then we'll make some
Richarlison-
basic error like that.
Richarlison should have ran across the goal.
I will say in the home game, Chelsea Spurs at the Bridge, Richarlison, when he came on, he completely changed the game. We looked terrified when it was Kane and Richarlison as a kind of double forward block.
Thiago Silva injured knee.
That's not what we
He
want
fell
to
on his
see.
knee.
At least we've got Badia Shield on the bench, but
He looks in pain.
Yeah, fell on his knee.
Do you guys see the stuff about Thiago Silva's wife this week liking a post on Twitter about a Chelsea fan moaning about Potter and saying Thiago should coach the club on interim? I think
Thiago Silva's wife's got a lot of things to say.
She's brilliant.
To be honest.
She's brilliant. We usually, she was that Champions League run. She was, She was here, there, and everywhere. Sleeps in Chelsea pyjamas. Posts all her pics of her kids in Chelsea pyjamas, but that ruffled a lot of feathers, including mine.
Thiago Romero having a little beef there. That South American rivalry.
Really struggling.
I'd like to see him continue, because without him in that defence, it's just a bit inexperienced in the centre backs.
He's a strong lad. He's going to try to play.
He's a classy player, is.
Yeah.
I love him. Best signing of ours, in my opinion, since in a very, very, very long time. And we signed a lot of money that summer of 2020, and he was brought in for free. And best signing that window. I mean,
he's a good signing. If I wanted to sign someone with experience, it'd be someone like Thiago.
I mean, for us, it's like we just wish we had him, for longer. And it's like it's like Ibrahimovic. The older he gets, the younger he seems to play. Like he's got the wisdom of a 35-year-old centre back. I mean, I know he's older than that, but he plays like he's 21 with the legs. There's Todd Bowley in his Chelsea scarf.
Someone's got the cream Parker.
They had a cream suit trying to
come back on. He's not going to play.
I think he looks in a bit of pain, but I think they might give him the magic cream. That physio looks like Graham Potter.
The first one.
He does, doesn't he? The one in the hat.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Graham Potter. Maybe he's warming up.
Got a corner without a centre back though. That's a problem.
Corner from Tottenham. Had to Kane. Dyer whips it back in. Ooh, good punch by Kepa.
That's fine.
What's he given? He's given a goal kick.
Goal kick?
Yeah, I didn't think he got his hand to that. Maybe I'm wrong there.
Mira doesn't look like he's complaining too much, so.
Spurs missing Bentancur, right? Since he's got injured.
Yeah, man.
Silva's struggling a little bit.
He's struggling.
He's struggling, but he'll fight it out. I mean, I think he's not one to go off lightly. Went off in the Champions League final.
It looks like he's doing something here, Potter. I think he might be warming someone up.
Yeah, it's a no.
I mean, he is 52.
Nice.
You know,
52. He's a most physically fit 52-year-old I've seen in my life.
I think he's class. I do think he's class.
Yeah, he's 37, isn't he?
He's about that, 37, 38.
The fact that there are pundits who aren't Chelsea pundits saying he's the best centre-back in the Premier League at his age is just... I mean, that is...
He's coming off.
Yeah, Fofana's coming on.
Fofana looked good. He was one of our only good players against Southampton. So I'm surprised it's not Badiashile, just because he's played a little bit more recently. But... good.
It's just a nasty collision there.
Kane's sitting on his leg, yeah. I'm not saying it's Kane's fault, but... He's still there.
AJ Cruz says Thiago is class. Victor Go says Spurs is missing
Go on.
form.
Go on.
Felix.
Shoot.
Oh. Straight up.
We can't score. Why can't we score?
Worrying signs for Spurs there.
Have we looked like scoring?
It was too easy, look.
Look at that. He got spun there, Holberg.
We're playing all right, but they keep shooting. That was right down his throat. I mean... Just keep shooting at the keeper like that. You're not going to score goals, are you? I mean, it's like Karius in goals.
Down.
Yeah, he's not continuing, is he?
I'm not sure you can just do that in the middle of a game, though.
He came off in the Champions League final, and then Christensen came on, had a worldie. So, clutching at straws, me. But if he's out for any length of time, that's a hammer blow for us this season. That's really, really worrying. I mean, I know we've got plenty of centre backs now, but he's like the leader.
He's not that type of character that's just going to go off for the sake of going off, is he? You know what I mean? There's obviously a problem, and he's pretty much called it straight away.
It does look.
Wesley Fofana's on for Thiago Silva.
It doesn't look like what we want. I mean,
has anyone got any interest in the Carabao Cup final later on today? It's obviously Newcastle versus Manchester United at Wembley, close to here.
Yeah.
100,000 Geordies are rumoured to be in London right at this moment in time, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's amazing.
They've been absolutely brilliant. I had chatting to a few on the tube over here, and they were just So Joe, I mean, they deserve it. I mean, they've been through the ringer in the last few years. I mean, you can say what you want about their ownership, but as fans, their fan base deserve a moment, and I hope they do it today. I have to say, I don't know any neutral that wants United to win it. Actually,
if United win,
Sunderland fans maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Sunderland fans, but it's been a long old time for Newcastle winning a trophy. A club the size of Newcastle, they have got obviously new ownership and lots of money, but could that new ownership?
That's all right.
Could that new ownership spell the end of someone like Spurs competing for the top four? Because if that trophy comes to St James's Park today, they've got lots of potential there to buy themselves some more.
Yeah, they can, but I think it's going to take them a while. I don't think it's going to kick so that. It's going to be the next 4 or 5 years. You see Newcastle properly competing. There's even talks of a takeover at Spurs.
Really?
Yeah, 3.5 billion. But apparently John Lewis ain't going to sell, so we'll see.
He's so isolated out there.
There's talks of takeovers at lots of clubs now. Isn't there?
They
Man
see the
United.
money.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Man United are rumoured to be getting taken over. Liverpool, West Ham, Spurs now. Everyone's getting taken over.
The hardest thing about Chelsea's, from experience, was it was so public. It was like a takeover that for all these clubs is going behind closed doors. We saw absolutely everything, and everything came out, and I wouldn't wish it on any fan base. I think best thing for these clubs is buyer comes and they just, without any press interest, the deal is, just gets done, because trust me, you don't want football Twitter becoming experts on ownership groups. It's not
absolutely
fun.
not.
Football Twitter is out of this world.
Certainly, yeah. But I think
Raj Kumar says, Nicky, what is your hate for tourists visiting stadiums?
nobody hates them. It's
the top clubs have worldwide fan bases, and this is what sustains the revenues. I've got no hate for tourists visiting stadiums.
It's atmosphere.
Not at all. And I know they have worldwide fan bases, but I'm not worried about revenues either. They're not my problem. Sustainability of revenues is not my issue. It's nothing that concerns me.
And you do tourists. Certain clubs can do tourist fans well. Like look at Borussia Dortmund. They have an amazing stadium, amazing atmosphere, and tourists. Must be so many every week.
And their tickets are what?
And the tickets are affordable.
That's the difference.
I don't think it's ever and I think lots of people confuse what some would call tourists to international fans. Like you can be a fan of the club, come over and cheer all day. It's particularly with Chelsea, it's tourist fans that don't follow the game, go into the game, buy everything, but don't really support the team. We view in stadium football as you go to support the team, and that's what, certainly when it comes to what the way we discuss Chelsea, they don't want what they would call tourist. You can be a proper Chelsea fan from London or from anywhere in the world. It's not about international fans. It's
a little foul clip. Who's that? You clip Reece James on the edge of the box.
Richarlison, he's good against us. I always get a little bit nervous against players like him. I don't know. I know Spurs fans say nothing to worry about.
He's got no goals to be nervous about, so it's like
he changed the game again at the bridge, in my opinion.
Yeah,
so
he did. He came off the bench, and
I mean, that was what you going two up top and back.
Tackle.
Come on. Or go on in that
tackle.
Good tackle again.
That was corner though. Come on, boys.
Played.
We got a corner coach.
We
have a corner coach. Our corners can't beat the first man, so let's hope we can change that this time. Where's this Emerson been? Where was he in the first half of this season?
Exactly. He's obviously seen Doherty leave. He's seen Porro come in, kick up his arse.
Alex Ojudeju says, he's in response to that, he says, worldwide fan bases are great for the league. However, the fans worldwide who want a Super League need to learn of the history of the English football. Many of them have no idea of the history. It's a good point, I suppose. If you're a fan that lives in the Far East are calling for a Super League, then you're not really a fan of football. You're a fan of a franchise.
Yeah, franchise.
But I've got no problems with international fans. I just don't like
shoot.
Oh,
it's just we just don't.
Yeah,
we can't score.
I don't think anybody did call for a Super League. To be fair,
there's a small minority, but it's all people that want to.
I just don't understand what's so bad about how we have it. Champions League, the European competitions, top four, the best.
But
because they can't make enough money.
But the new format for the Champions League, I think, is awful. You look, it's like
it's the Super League.
Two big groups, and it's 10 group matches.
You're going to get sort of wild card places and all
Three
these
of them,
sorts of.
It's what they call the Swiss model. Like, Swiss model? Swiss model? What is that?
Did the Swiss League do it different or something?
No, from what I can see, the Swiss League, they just play off at the end of the season.
Yeah.
UEFA want to make out that it's got some precedent. They call it the Swiss model. I mean, it's administrative bodies don't know what they're doing when it comes to.
It's just money, isn't it?
Yeah. Look, as it was said the other night, you got Liverpool, Real Madrid, last 16 in Champions League.
Yeah.
You've got Barcelona, Man United in a playoff round of the Europa League.
Come on.
Why do we need it? We get the best football from the earliest stages of the competitions. We don't need anything different. We like it how it is, but...
And as teams get better, especially, and then you're going to start seeing, like, for example, West Ham in the Conference League, you're going to start seeing Newcastle's and Europas, and teams will just get better, so it will naturally become that.
I think Newcastle will be in the Champions League, mate, unfortunately. I mean,
yeah, the only reason why they want the Super League is because like leagues like the Liga, there's no money. They don't really.
They're falling behind.
But the Premier League, really and truly, do you know the reason why it's so good? It's marketing. it's marketing, branding.
But you look at money, and the Premier League is a sort of super league in itself. Like, you look at the amount of money spent compared to the other leagues. I think Chelsea spent more than La Liga, Serie A, the Bundesliga in January combined. So we can say we're better than them, but it is probably because of the amount we spend as a league, but also...
Did we see AFC Bournemouth outbid AC Milan for Zaniolo?
That was crazy, yeah.
Hit the post!
Højbjerg, I think.
Oh my God, Højbjerg!
I thought it was going miles wide. And it didn't.
Down.
We need a bit of luck, and maybe that's our bit of luck today. Did it get deflected? I think it might have done here.
Good bit of work.
26 minutes. Oh,
big deflection.
Yeah.
I don't know if that helped, because I think that might have been going at the keeper, and then if that had fallen in if that had gone in the goal, that would have, that deflection completely...
Right off the post.
That was going straight at Kepa as well. So, Fofana, you lucky boy.
Totally wrong-footed him. If that had been on target, that was a goal.
Yeah.
Oh, even if the deflection weren't there?
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Ooh,
That's it.
That looked like a foul there.
Is that a foul? Free kick?
It seems that every time we'll be dominating a game and we'll get stung when have a couple of attacks, and maybe that was the luck we need to turn our season around.
Oh. Come on, Spurs.
Look how hard Felix works going up there as well. He's
Chicken Royale. Harry Kane.
Grilled. Is he flame grilled today?
He's on flames, isn't he?
That was a poor pass, Kane.
Don Reece.
Poor pass for Kane, which is unusual for him.
Yeah.
Good work by Reece James. This has got to be a foul.
Yeah, take it.
I thought, as far as Chelsea go, the first 10 we looked brilliant. We had patterns. We were really stretching your defence, and now you seem to have got yourselves back in the game. And I mean, that was cynical from Richarlison, but no booking. Well, I think that's a tactical foul.
Yeah,
there.
of course, great foul.
Victor Go says, if Conte leaves, this side man should get the job. He's actually getting Spurs to play actual football.
Stellini.
Stellini's decent record, man.
Too
and he's
loyal.
a good man. He's a good guy as well. He's a good Stellini's a good guy. And his press conferences comes across very, very well.
He was never at Chelsea under Conte.
Yeah.
It's Stellini, but because his assistant at Chelsea went to manage in the Scottish League and got sacked after 6 games.
Who was his assistant?
Angelo Alessio went
Okay.
to succeeded another Chelsea man at Kilmarnock, Steve Clark.
Oh, Steve. Okay, yeah, Steve.
Bit of a Scottish geek. He lived up there for 4 years, but yeah. So that was where Stellini came into the fold, I think, for you guys.
Oh, Richarlison, well done.
Somebody did ask me earlier on if after yesterday's win I think West Ham could kick on from here.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get relegated.
I
I think it was better. It was just better tactical awareness from Moyes. He actually went to attack, and we went to attack and we scored goals. And we've struggled for goals. We started a Premier League goal scorer, proven Premier League goal scorer, and he scored goals. Shock horror. I think, listen, we've got a full bill of health at the minute, I think, in terms of players. So we haven't had that for a long way. Listen, I don't think we're going to go down if we can keep everyone fit. But, we've got to show more.
Did you play a 3-back again yesterday?
No, we played 4 at the back, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because, I saw that Moyes was really going in for the counters because the confidence must be low. But how's Emerson doing? I know he stung us, but...
do you know what? He didn't play yesterday, but he's slowly coming into the side. But he's been playing well recently.
It's odd because at Chelsea we liked him in a 4, but when we played a 5,
He's better in a 5 for us.
That's
Come
really
on,
strange.
Spurs.
It was the opposite with us. Yeah, Koulibaly's seems to like Spurs, like playing Spurs.
You don't play your best against Spurs. I told you. Out of 38 games, you played 2 good, amazing games, and they're both against Spurs.
I wouldn't say that, mate. I think you're getting into this game now, and let's see.
Good cross.
Get there, nice.
They got a break.
Ziyech
Get
put
there.
a shift,
Yeah.
mate.
All the way back to Fraser Forster.
Played.
It seems that Chelsea have a slightly better block today. We got a 4, we got the 2 holders. A bit more disciplined.
Good ball. Oh, I thought that was going to Richarlison.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That ball was floating in there.
Chelsea defend. 30 minutes gone, still 0-0. Both teams are in this. Fofana's now down, who was the replacement for Thiago Silva.
We have Badia Shield on the bench, at least.
That's what I'm saying. The team just stacked. It's just like rolling names off the field.
Not up top, though, mate. Not up top. I mean,
He's struggling with his hamstring, it looks like.
But have you seen our injuries this season? I mean, it's a joke. It's a literal joke.
Overstretched there, look.
Yeah.
You're stretched for a ball, and every time our players stretch for a ball, injury, out for a month. It's not even funny anymore. Like, the amount of... had James out for so long, comes back half a game against Bournemouth, injured for another month. You got Chilwell out for ages, and Mendy out. They're all... Squad's like the walking wounded this season, honestly, mate. What's going on here? Totally forgotten his name. Is it Atwell reffing today? I think that's Atwell. I don't...
Yeah, Stuart Atwell, yeah.
Thank God it's not Mike Dean, a Spurs fan, eh?
No, Mike Dean. That's our boy.
You're the only football fan I've ever heard has described Mike Dean as our boy.
Everyone else hates his guts.
No, he's helped us out a few times.
We don't have any of them.
Rescue.
Our fan base has a theory that the bald referees hate us. I mean, sometimes I watch games and I believe it, and then
Kane, naughty.
What's
Kane,
going on?
naughty.
You want to see Bettinelli make his Chelsea debut, I think, Kane.
Adam reckons this has got 0-0 written all over it.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think there's
I
goals
think
in this
there's
game.
goals in this game, yeah.
I think there's goals in this game.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Not
there
from
is.
us at the moment.
No, I think both teams have... It's pretty even. But I think there is goals in this game.
Don't think anything does more to ruin my heart rate than football.
I don't think anybody...
Football, I don't think the emotion in football is totally different to anything else.
I'd love to see
Like,
someone put like a heart rate tracker on all of us through the, particularly yourself,
loose
dude.
ball.
Oh, what
That's
was
all right, it's all
that?
right. That's all right. I'm intrigued to know what you guys would say as opposition. Or
Played, win it back. Go,
Other
go over
fans.
Charlton.
what would you guys say about Potter?
Played.
Do you think we should give him time?
Yeah, I think Potter's a
I
project
think
manager.
anyone should be given time, but different clubs are different. You know, they act differently, don't they? You know, I can't really say anything because, you know, David Moyes has given us a couple of really good seasons, and I think David Moyes should leave. So I'm not in a position to judge anyone else's club. It's not really my place to say.
I was just asking as a general football observer.
No,
not as
yeah,
much
I
of a-
understand. I think everyone should be given time. You shouldn't be ever
Yeah.
rooting
Except for
for
your
a
own
man to
manager.
lose his job.
after a year.
No,
or
I don't.
18 months.
But you know,
So are you of the view that Moyes should be sacked or should stand down and kind of
It's-
like a
I think there's cycles to this, and I think Moyes has been there before. I think he's a grown enough man to say, look, if the West Ham go, look, we want to take another different direction, and you're not the man for the job. I think he understands that. He's been given a fair crack, no? He's been given money.
who would replace him?
that's the question. I think that's one of the reasons why he hasn't been replaced, because who is to replace him? You know,
I think I would like to see West Ham with like a progressive man like Zebri or a Gallardo or someone that just you got the players for it. You got your Paqueta, Lanzini. They're ballers. They're technical.
Yeah.
They want to play.
I saw Lanzini.
Paqueta was class yesterday.
Yeah.
Saw
They wanna play.
Lanzini. Saw some cracking goals at the bridge. He's
Ben Rama. Like,
Class.
these guys want to play football, man. I remember when West Ham had Payet. Oh my god, that guy.
and then he
Is
then
that
he went and did the
expressions up in
dirty.
here?
I thought it was at the game.
He went and did the dirty on West Ham.
Pretty
Then
sure that's
Payet.
it. No, it's not him. West Ham need Big Sam Allardyce to save them.
Oh no!
Nah. Change it up.
I
It
wouldn't.
depends what point of the season.
Come
if
on,
you're
Spurs.
desperate, if you're still on 20 points after 30 games, then I'd say, go on, let's have a go. But
Wouldn't
ran
put my
to the
worst
back of
enemy
him,
through
aggressive.
Sam Allardyce
I didn't mind Allardyce. I think Allardyce gets a bad rap
from West Ham fans.
from all fans. I think somebody said to me the other day, under Allardyce was some of the worst football I've ever seen. Under Allardyce was some of the best football I've ever seen.
At Bolton.
Allardyce is Bolton.
At Bolton, yeah.
With
quality.
beautiful football. Like
Was it Off? What was that team? Oh,
Ivan Campo, JJ
Yeah,
Okocha,
Okocha,
Kevin
yeah.
Davis.
Jeremy Hickson, $6.99. Thank you very much for the super chat. 120 million for Enzo will go down as one of the worst signings ever.
One of the
Dodgers
best signings
FC
ever.
Is such a joke.
Absolute nonsense.
just give him
Give
these
him
players.
time.
Like, it's been 2-3
Nonsense.
games. Like,
Nonsense.
I was
Guy's
like-
22.
Sterling, Felix.
Guy's 22.
Oof.
Give the man a chance. If you don't mind me saying, it's a kind of reactionary football view that I just
it's just
can't
like-
hate it.
Nowadays, everyone on Twitter thinks they're a scout,
So-
analyst, manager.
Just played 4 games and suddenly he's the worst signing ever. I mean, really?
Everyone talks about XG now in every conversation.
I mean, at least XG, someone clever's thought it up.
Yeah.
Something like that is just like, oh, he's rubbish because I hate Chelsea. I mean, let's see, but I
Every
don't
club
think so.
has bought a player and they've not done well. Like, it's happened. Every club's bought a player. It's taken them longer to settle in. It happens.
But has anybody watched Enzo for Chelsea and said he's played badly?
The people
think
that are
he's
saying
been
it,
good.
ask them if they watched him at Benfica.
And Argentina too.
Yeah.
He was awesome in the World Cup. I mean, Go on, Chile.
West Ham
Played Raheem.
for sort of
I
20
thought-
minutes, half an hour. Yeah.
that assist for Felix was really nice. But
RX Heisman says this guy Tom knows what he's talking about. He donated $5 Canadian as well.
Well,
it's
I'm
very
told.
kind now.
Don Arsenal TV says Borefest. This is a
Yeah,
Borefest.
Borefest.
G-Mac says the Farmers League dealt with the Premier League in the Champions League. Played 4, won 3, drew 1, lost 0.
Half time in all the ties.
Yes.
Only team that's out, or one could argue is out, is Liverpool. I mean,
Yeah.
Tottenham 1 goal behind
One
a
goal
team.
behind.
That was
And they got to come
And
back.
Chelsea
they gotta come back to
smoked
the
Chelsea
the
smoked
lead.
Milan at home.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we did away, but Chelsea 1 goal down to Dortmund, dominated the game, and City 1-1 against the Leipzig team you'd think they'd beat. So I don't understand that, people judging a game at half time. I mean,
that Real Madrid comeback was something else.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That was 2 goals down, and then they thought, right, we better start putting
That was
a
ridiculous.
bit
I must
of
say-
effort in. The Benzema running ragged.
The stream
Vinicius
highlight.
Junior, my God.
Any viewer watching this, you've got to check out the DR Sports stream highlights for that game. That was gold. Doyle and I absolutely loved the Madrid.
I don't
fan.
like compiling other people's miseries, but I've got to say
That was.
Well,
They're
they
not
were
used to it
2-0
at the
up.
moment.
They were
when it's
2-0 up.
Liverpool, I don't mind it. It's Liverpool. They do it for all of us. So,
Yeah.
but
They've gone all the way. They've had 3 Champions
Yeah,
League
as a
finals.
football fan, I felt for Doyle. He looked really heartbroken. But for Liverpool,
I love
Football
Doyle.
Club,
Doyle's I'd call him a good friend of mine, but man, it is.
It's heartbreaking.
It was amazing
I'm not going to
content,
feel
right?
too sorry for him. They've had enough
Yeah,
success.
yeah.
You know what
They
I mean?
beat
Like,
us in the
they've had-
final as well.
They've had a couple of years.
I had two cup finals. We lost to them on pens at Wembley last season.
Go on.
Hey.
Quizzy 2221 says, done my ACL yesterday and now watching this football, it can't get much worse. Sorry, bud. Sorry to hear about your ACL. I've done my ACL before, mate. That's a tough one to take. Monty says, are Chelsea fans missing Abramovich?
I'm not, no. I think Todd Bowley's a breath of fresh air. I mean, to not have this constant hiring and sacking, and it's ridiculous. I mean, people talk to me about how amazing Rome was, and for 15 years he was. But in that last 5 years, we didn't come within 18 points of winning the Premier League. Is that where an elite club that spends money?
How long ago? How long was that?
Last 5 seasons, we've not come
18
near
points.
18 points of winning the Premier League.
How long has he not been allowed in this country for?
It's about a year, because the war started. What was it?
I think he
Oh
was
no, he
banned
got
before that, wasn't
sanctioned.
he?
He got
Yeah,
sanctioned. He got his
before that, yeah.
because he had his Israeli passport that got.
He couldn't come into the con. Yeah.
He couldn't come in as a Russian
About 4 years,
citizen.
wasn't it?
Yes, because he only watched us in about his last 4 years as owner in the Champions League final. But when we've been out of British soil, he was at. We played Krasnodar in the Champions League. He was there. Champions League final, Club World final. They're the only games I remember him being at. I mean, it's so hard with Roman, because any fan that watches the news and that has to say it's heartbreaking and it's horrible. But for me, his time was up the minute that we were put on sanctions. He had to go. It's sad, but nobody really knows. He never said anything, so for me, he had to go at that point.
Yeah.
Didn't make me particularly popular among my Chelsea fan base for saying it, but I'll keep saying
But this
it.
is the moral grey ground that I was talking about. They're literally accusing him of being a war criminal.
Yeah.
And funding, helping to fund the war.
But nobody knows.
No, nobody knows.
That's what I'm
No.
saying. It's
Because
all
there are-
assumptions.
you see stories in the press that he was super close to the leadership and the leaders, and then you see stories. But I don't think anybody really knows. You see stories completely denying it. You see fans denying it. I mean, I can say I've never met the guy.
No, but this is it, isn't it? This is where it's morally grey,
But for me, I just didn't like the narrative around the club. I thought a fresh start was probably for the best at that time, to be honest. Working hard, Ziyech there.
Not an active first half, is it?
Yeah, it says a lot.
Nearly
about,
at the end.
Yeah.
It says a lot about the half that we're not talking about the game.
It's a
We're
great ball.
talking about other things. But
Shift quickly.
Sterling.
Shift.
come on, Raheem.
He's just shifted it, and Raheem Sterling goes for goal. Oh, good save.
Yeah.
Why can't we score?
Fraser Forster.
Why can't we score?
Had to shift fast.
We cannot score a goal.
You had to shift
Give
quick.
him a lot of room there.
That's
a lot
what I'm
of
saying.
respect.
Skip.
Look.
You had to get
Did he shoot it at the keeper? No, he could have got it in that far corner, but harsh on Sterling. No, I like Raheem a lot. Havertz, if he wasn't off, Havertz should have got ahead to that. Lads, a goal is all I want right now. don't care how it comes.
Yeah.
I hope you see what I mean when I said a pen's probably our best way of scoring at the moment.
Yeah, I think we need a goal. We need 2. I think 2 goals wins this game, man. Because
I didn't want my
poor
prediction. I didn't want my prediction of 0-0, 1-1 to be right.
Oh.
But
God, man, sloppy.
Joao.
It's Felix.
Get there.
Sloppy passing from Tottenham.
Get a corner.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's a corner. Is that corner?
Come on, boys.
It is a corner for
44
Chelsea.
minutes played.
Oh, if we can get one now, that would be
How much minutes? How much injury time?
3 minutes, I
Yeah,
think
3,
it said. Yeah. Oh, if we can get a goal now, going into half time. I mean, people forget we got Mudryk, we got Noni on the bench, and we come on with legs against your tired, wing
got
backs,
Son.
centre backs.
Son will come again. Son will come on for Richarlison. Danjuma's quick. He's quick as well.
I wish I hadn't said that.
Yeah.
Dean. You've scared me now. If we can get one now, please, boys.
It's
Kalidou.
a good little tactical battle between these 2 managers.
Forster's massive, isn't he? Maybe Felix is small, but
Ty Jenks says Palace were
get that.
cheated last night. Liverpool ain't finished above Spurs.
Did hear that.
I haven't seen it. I'll be honest. I didn't see none of it. Oh.
Klopp's done at the end of this season, I think.
You think so? Yeah, I think he's won it all, innit?
Players have lost their legs. He's
Yeah.
so aggressive the way he plays.
They need another transition, another cycle.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think they should. They'll thank him. They'll give him an amazing send off. I
He's a legend there. He won it in the Prem.
can't see him.
He might even get a statue.
He just looks broken every game, Jurgen Klopp. Like
I'm glad to see it, to be honest. I'm sick of his moaning.
I couldn't agree more. I don't think I hated all the kind of goodwill the media gave to him because I don't think he's a particularly likable chap.
He was when he first came. I think
Become miserable.
yeah,
Since.
I think that's what the English press do to you.
Mourinho the same. I mean, if we can get a goal, please. I'm
Played.
praying at the
It's one
moment.
of them guys. It's one of them guys, Klopp, where
Ref.
when it's not going well for him, it's everyone else. Richarlison.
Behave, Richarlison. Behave.
There's a few arms being chucked around here at the end of the half. Yep.
Yeah, we're not having these Spurs giving it the big one to us.
He's got a card out. It's a yellow card. Emerson's gone down. About 2 minutes after the incident.
He's been booked.
That's what Spurs do. They give it out, but they can't take it. I mean, it was Emerson that started that.
He's doing something here. He's put his
Yellow.
card away.
He's
The
getting
linesman's
fined.
seen something. He's going to have a
VAR
discussion.
here. There's much ado about nothing. Commentary's trying to sell us, but okay, he's booking someone, isn't
booking.
he? Oh wait, but his yellow card's at the back of his hand. You can see
he's reaching for something.
Looks like there's something on top of that yellow
Could be
card.
red
there.
here for someone.
It's yellow.
No, he's got a
it
yellow
might
out.
be. Yeah, but he wasn't writing on the yellow card. He was writing on the.
They don't normally advise them over yellow cards. He's going to have a look at something,
Don't
I
send
believe.
no one off before the first.
I don't think that.
Havertz
there's-
gets booked.
I think it'll be yellow for them both.
He's trying to hide.
He's not put it away yet. He's not put it
he's
away.
booking
It'll be
the
yellow
Spurs.
for
He's
them
booking the
both,
Spurs,
won't
man.
it? That's what Spurs do. They give it out, can't take it, and then go crying and running away when.
Emerson's going to get booked, is he?
I think he deserves it.
I think he's
No?
discussing about.
Yeah, thank
I think
you.
he's done him for diving then.
What, as in going down
Yeah.
after the.
All right, good refereeing.
I would rather he didn't book them,
Something.
actually. I like the fact he's booked them both.
Like, you have to show the pace. Like you have to put your foot down.
I
Sometimes.
just think that games like this, they're so high octane anyway, that for him to be
What?
waving.
Good tackle. That's a good tackle.
Is that Richarlison started that? And then they go running off
Lenglet's the one that
crying.
pushed you in the face. Emerson's got.
Oh,
That's a punch.
that's a punch. He punched his
from
face.
Ziyech.
Is it a punch?
So
Was it a
he
slap?
was.
That's a punch.
Watch
Yeah, but he's gone and
Watch.
provoked him.
in front of the referee.
That's a
Oh, yeah,
punch.
no,
It's like a.
Still, it's on
like
his
a-
face. That's raising your hands to his face.
If that's
There
a red,
should be
if that's
a
a
red
red
card.
card, the game is gone. The game is completely gone. If
I
that's
agree,
a red
but
card.
I've seen worse given. So I
You might get red. I was looking at the red.
I've seen West.
Emerson weren't red.
He's raised his hands to his face.
I've seen West Ham outfielders play as goalkeepers and them not being given as penalties. So, if this is a red card, the game is gone.
It's getting
A punch or a shove.
red.
Okay.
It's a
Oh,
red.
Red. Yes.
This is
Yes,
absolute.
red card.
The
There you
game
go.
is gone. The game is gone.
Sorry, but he raised his hand and he slapped.
He went like this. He went like this.
No, he never. He went like that.
The game's gone.
Slapped to your face.
The absolute disgrace.
That's not a disgrace.
These
Come on,
referees
come on.
need to.
You know
I'm
you
sorry,
can't
he
raise
went
your
like
hand.
that. This is
red card.
Raise your
this
hand.
is disgusting.
That's
this
a
is
red card.
He's
Can't
going
raise
to
your
the
hand.
screen now. I'm sorry if this
It's
is a
not
red
finished
card.
yet. Something's going on. There could be another red. There could
This
be
is
another.
pathetic refereeing. I'm sorry. He gave the 2 yellow cards. Just give the yellows and move on.
That's
Yeah,
a
what's
slap.
that?
That's a slap.
He did it. He goes like this.
What? He went to his face. Face move.
Behave.
He
Behave.
say he never touched his face.
He went like
Lenglet
that.
could be in
His
trouble.
hand touched
Hold
his
on a minute. Lenglet could be in trouble.
Behave.
Yeah.
Lenglet could be in trouble.
If one is a red, both is a red there. I'm sorry. If not, the referees are a
Langley is a bookie. He didn't
disgrace.
touch his face. He pushed him.
That is a disgrace. I'm sorry.
Hold on, let's have a look.
If one's a red, both is a red here. I'm not having that. Typical absolute nonsense.
Why did he look at the monitor?
Why did he look at the monitor?
He looked at the.
I can understand. He's made a big decision
Hold
in
on,
the game.
it could reverse it here. Hold on.
Oh,
No, he's no
No
red card.
no, I thought he has
He's
given.
changed it. He's changed it to a booking.
Oh my!
You know
God.
what? Credit to that ref there. He's recognised he's made a mistake. I was
saying it was a red
That was a
card.
red
I was
card.
mouthing him off.
Nah, he done the right
Do you know
choice.
what?
He reversed it.
Do you know what? I'm going to give that to the ref there. He made a big call. He then said, look, I've changed this game by sending him off.
Oh.
I'm just going to go and check. And he's gone and checked. And he's realised that, I'm sorry, this is not a punch.
He never done this. He done this.
No, man. I'm sorry, if that's violent,
ridiculous.
if that's
I've
violent
never seen
conduct,
that in my
the
life.
game is gone. The game
nothing.
is
Let's
well
play the
and
game.
truly gone. Do you know what? Credit to the ref there, and credit to the VAR.
No, I think he's raised his hands to his face. I think if you do that in any
Any
part of
game,
the
that's
game,
off.
You go.
6 of one,
We've
half
seen
a
it so
dozen.
many
6
times.
of one,
I
half a
saw
dozen the
Thomas
other.
Suchek get sent off for trying to raise his hand over a Fulham defender. I'm not having that. He
Behave,
has gone for
Nicky.
his face.
Behave.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Behave.
I don't agree with it. I think the whole thing should be reviewed. But by the letter of the law, that is a red
But I'm
card.
sorry. If he's provoked like that,
I don't know how he's given a red card, gone over to watch the monitor.
Oh, I
saw
respect
him
it.
Slap him in the face, and then decided it wasn't a red card.
do you know what's going to be funny now?
God.
If we
sorry.
win this game,
If
we win this game, Spurs fans
what we're
crying,
about.
Spurs fans
That's
crying.
ruined the
on
game. To be fair, he made the
What?
right decision.
That's ruined the
He
game.
made the right
The
decision.
red card would have ruined the game.
No man,
No, I'm not having that.
that's unfair, bro.
I think the ref's spot on there. 6 of one, half dozen the other.
How
book
is
and
that
bow.
not a
His
red?
problem says, can someone explain what just happened to the card? The referee sent off Ziyech for raising his hands to Emerson's
Emerson
face.
Royale, yeah.
He's gone over to look at the monitor and decided that it was not worthy of a red card. Instead, he give a yellow card. But I don't know. In my opinion, it should have been a red. He's raised his hands to his face. I don't condone Emerson rolling around on the floor over it, but by the letter of the law,
sorry.
that should be a red card.
I couldn't disagree with that more. He was directly provoked. There was a melee there. If that is a red,
I do agree
both
with that.
players have to be red carded.
Lenglet raised his hands as well. So if
So if it's a
Lenglet-
red, both
you
are
know,
sent off.
yeah,
I'm afraid.
Run onto it, David.
I'm not having that. Look, do you want this game to be 11v11 or 10v10?
It's not bad.
I'd like both
Yeah,
teams
of
to
course.
lose, if I'm honest.
I'm not surprised, but as an observer, what 11v11 or 10v10? Because if that is a red card, I'm afraid that the game is gone. And I know I sound like an old man saying that, but
Jesus, he sent him off.
I mean, I'm going to keep doing that because that is what it was.
Yeah, it's blown for half time. A bit of controversy there at the end of the half, but it is 0-0. Both teams are. The referee's been surrounded by a few players.
It's a wrong decision.
Never a dull moment, Spurs v Chelsea, is it? Look at the bridge game.
this is this is
That's ruined.
a point as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't. I'm not even going to try to announce the name. But so Casemiro's was a red, and this is not.
Yeah.
It's saying it's a similar sort of thing. It's inconsistent.
Inconsistent.
I will say this. I tweeted out just now that, you know, credit to the ref for checking that. And I've got fans in my comments saying, "Oh, the VAR gave the red. The VAR should be sacked." No, they got it right in the end, in my opinion. And the fact that he's gone and the fact the refs had the view to say, "Look, I'm going to change this game if I send him off. Let me just have a look." I respect that. I do think there's this talk, right, that when the ref goes over to the screen, my opinion is they always change their decision about 98% of the time, right? But you know what? I think decisions like that, the fact the ref's gone, I just want to see it myself. I respect that.
I think you're just being biased, to be fair.
I think you're looking at it from both sides. Look, I don't agree that things like that should be red cards, but that is the letter of the law.
And that's a red card. If that was the other way around, you'd be saying red card. You won't be saying...
It's another one of these...
But it isn't though, is it?
But it's another one of these debates that are going to ride on through for VAR. VAR has not covered itself in glory over the last few weeks, that's for sure. And, you know, there's referees, but... You know, for me, he's obviously been told to go and have a look at it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. I'm just confused about.
Yeah.
But see,
what we're doing.
My impression with that was not actually that he was told to look at it. Was that he sent him off and has said, said to me, I just want to have a look at that. Maybe I'm wrong, but. If he did, I kind of respect the fact he's controlled his game.
But then he looked. The reason why it's baffling because he's looked at it and he's seen that as just a yellow card. That's ridiculous.
But he saw him get provoked, and it was a melee. I think
it doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
I think if
provocation doesn't matter.
If he did it unprovoked,
it don't matter.
I think that's
provoked. It's a red card.
Yeah, context doesn't matter. If you're shoving your hands in someone's face,
it's a red
so
card.
Longley should be off too then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Longley should be off too.
He never touched no one's face though.
I'll have to have a look at it again, but he raised his hands certainly. But if he touched someone's face, then yeah. But Xhaka has been sent off for less. This London Nomad who donated £5. Thank you very much.
All about
doesn't matter
Arsenal
the context. You don't shove your hands in someone's face. It's a red every day of the
week. That's the law. It's as simple as that.
Jack Napier says, "How is that not red? People get arrested for less."
Behave.
Never a red card. Unknown says not a red card.
Chelsea fan.
Casemiro's was a red. That's a red.
Nonsense.
The ref got it right. It's listen.
But it's 50-50 in the comments.
Is that a red card? It's
50-50 in the comments.
48% for yes. 53% says no. So it's
Arsenal fans.
It's.
Look, all I will say is, from a slightly less biased perspective, right? I think if that was a red, it would be one where you might have like Chelsea fans saying it's robbed. If it wasn't a red, it's one where whatever he did, I think there'd be a debate on it. But I don't think anybody could claim it was like like Lee Mason forgetting to draw the lines, for instance, right? I think a decision like that is where I would like to hear what the ref and the VAR are actually saying.
100%.
Well, I think that's why we need.
I'd like to hear them explain. Okay, he's made it, but he was provoked, or maybe he explains it as actually it wasn't violent conduct. That might be his. I'd like to hear. Even though I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm glad he made the decision he did. I would love to hear why the refs made that call. Whether was it not violent conduct? Was it the fact he was provoked meant he didn't really want to ruin the game? There was 6-1. I think that's the best example of where we want to hear what they say, and that's from us all as football fans.
GMAC donated £1.99. Sanity prevails. Yes, push isn't violent conduct. So
spot on, GMAC.
It's sort of 50-50 in the comments. Apart from that incident at the end, which we're going to have a look at on the TV again. What have you made of Chelsea? Held down?
Great for the first 10-15 minutes, but I think it was Spurs grew into the game and our patterns just seemed to evaporate. I think today, though, winning is everything. And ultimately, if we win and not play well, that's good enough. And if we play well and don't win, that's not what we need at the moment. I mean, just looking at the incident again here, I'd be keen to see what Longlet's done there. So Emerson's provoked him there, right?
That's a shove in the face.
But Emerson's simulated that there too.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, maybe. I mean,
that's at least a yellow for simulation.
Emerson's got a yellow for. I don't know for what.
Let's see what's happening here. I think to have a melee where actually it was started by Spurs, to have Chelsea lose a player for that, I think would have been unfair. I'd love to see what was going through the ref's head there as he stood at the screen. And so one of the pundits is clearly praising the ref there.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, Jimmy, well, Chelsea man. We've needed a Chelsea man in the press for years and years, and we got one there, Jimmy. And I suppose, Nicky, I can understand what you're saying, and you're as neutral as they can kind of come on this, right? You don't like either of our clubs, but I think it would have been grossly unfair.
I've seen red cards for less. That's
I want to see
what I'm
Lenglet
saying.
here.
Like, you know, yeah, there was a provocation there, but it doesn't matter.
But
maybe he's gone to shove his shoulder and
he's just
sort of slipped. I don't know. Maybe that's what the referee's looking at, but I don't know.
Is the ref doing that to Lenglet suddenly now going to be seen as like trying to restrain him? Like, sanity's prevailed. Sanity has prevailed.
Well, it isn't a red. Tottenham doing well.
Tottenham doing well. Yeah, a bit of a ball fest. Like, I'm glad we didn't concede. But yeah, I think we need more from our front three and more from our midfield. Yeah, let's see how we go start second half, but I think we should make changes early if it's not going our way.
Who would you like to come on?
Bring on Son for Richarlison. I think Richarlison, he's a workhorse and that's it. From what I've seen so far from him.
£60 million.
0 goals, and he's not really...
Has he got any assists? I don't think he has.
Yeah, has he got an assist? No, I don't think he's got an assist. He might have one or two assists. But yeah, like he's got 2 goals in the Champions League. But yeah, I feel we need more from Richarlison. So bringing on Son might not be a bad shot. Yeah.
Hammerman TV says, Nicky, it's a red. Remember how Thiago done that to Bowen? I don't remember off the top of my head, but listen, I agree. I agree
it's
with red guys, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a red card.
I think it's a red as well.
You know, by letter of the law. The only thing that, you know, as I said, that could have saved him is maybe he thought he was trying to push his shoulder and he's caught his face by accident. But
I think that whole action, you have to look at it as one whole action. And
I think, regardless of whether we think it's a red, it's not a red.
It's not a red.
There is still 11 versus 11. No, 54%, and yes, 46%. On that, so yeah, it's a 50-50 split. It was a soft one, but I've seen them given. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I've seen them given. Trust me.
What about a bit of what's his face in the second half? The Croatian guy.
Who?
Perisic.
Yeah, Perisic. I think Davis is working well with Davis being the left wing back. It's actually working well. It worked well against you guys, and it's actually interesting to see. And Davis is actually, for me personally, when Perisic has been there, I know Perisic has got like 8-9 assists or something, but Davis looks like it works better. Perisic in the last couple of games has not been his best. You can see he's obviously ages getting on with him. So I think I like it how it is. It would be good to see little Porro come on and hopefully he can kick on. But yeah, I think I'll keep it as it is.
And what do you make of no Conte in the dugout? It seems to have improved the football a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a vision of the future.
Yeah, I think it's the energy. I think obviously Conte the last few months he's not been well, been missing his family, he's had deaths, and that energy, I believe in energy radiating, and I feel that the play it rubbed off on the players, and obviously you see the difference now with Stellini's. Even in his press conference, he comes across very well. The players like him, and you can see that they're playing for him.
Yeah.
And Conte. So yeah, Conte, if you want to take as long as you want, take as long as you want.
I mean, we spoke a bit earlier. You don't want to see managers losing their jobs, but is he on the cusp? Conte?
I don't think he'll lose his job. I think he'll walk away.
Walk away.
Yeah, I think he'll walk away. If it was to get to that, I would love him to sign a contract and stay and say, look, I'm building my project here. I think that would change the whole club around. But I think it's down to Conte. I don't think it's down to Levy. Yeah, I think Conte goes, okay, cool, I'm going to sign, or I'm gonna leave.
Do you think you get top 4?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, yeah. I think we'll pick Newcastle. Yeah, I think we'll pick Newcastle top 4. I don't think Newcastle have the depth to go all the way.
No, I spoke to Newcastle fans, and Newcastle fans have said, we haven't got the depth to push
and
that this season. But
you
know, they're definitely a threat for the future.
100%. Bright future for Newcastle.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting second half.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how both teams come out, to be honest.
I think both teams are fired up.
Yeah.
You know, both teams are fired up. Chelsea are going to come out firing. They're fired up. We need to come out fired up. So
it is a historically fiery game, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, this could get.
We need to score a goal, man. We ain't scored in a while v Chelsea, so.
In past games we've been better first half than second half. Nicky will tell you. Like, I hope we come out fired up. I think Mudryk off the bench, big. Noni, I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans give Noni a bad rep, but I think Noni's been good. So maybe that changes something.
Yeah.
Maybe
you said Mudryk. Any other changes could come in the game for Chelsea?
I think there's always that when you've got a number 9 on the bench and you're struggling to find a focal point. I think perhaps that's him. I mean, Potter's not said a bad word about him, so maybe Aubameyang, Obama who?
Obama who?
Obama what?
Obama what?
Obama who?
I can't. I'm no troops, am I? But. No, I mean, I think you always have to look at that, don't you? I mean, a lot of Chelsea fans would have preferred Fofana, particularly given that Potter seems to have favoured Fofana, and then today is actually put Aubameyang on the bench. So that's a pretty interesting decision. But I think Noni, Mudryk, I wouldn't be changing our sort of fullbacks because we
Mudryk is Werner 2.0.
Nonsense. Not even the same kind of player either.
Well, he's got time. He needs time to settle in.
One's a 9 who plays on the left, and one's a winger who literally will only play. He would never play at 9. Mudryk.
I mean, it would be with Aubameyang maybe coming on. It would be poetic, wouldn't it?
Against Spurs.
It would be gold. That would. But what's with that? So Aubameyang got 17 games under Potter, either off the bench or starting. And Willie, at the start, he was all right. I think he scored our first goal under Potter against Salzburg. He did all right against Milan, but in the Premier League, he's been really poor.
Yeah.
So, look, Potter's got to prove to us that he can change games, and that's been the one thing, if I speak for our fan base, that they've not been impressed with his subs. They've not been impressed with his game management. So if he can today change a game, I think a lot of fans will gain some confidence in him.
Yeah.
And this is Højbjerg
hitting the post.
That was
as tight as it is. I was at a game yesterday where last 20 minutes it was still 0-0 and ended up 4-1 to one side. So hopefully there's a few goals in this one. But that was the one that hit the post. Best chance of the game, really.
But is that deflection the little piece of luck that's going to turn our season around?
Well, don't know. We'll find out.
On a different day, that deflection, it flies into the net. Spurs 1-0, and I don't think we come back into the game. So
the second half is just about to kick off. We will see whether that will be
Spurs.
The turning point. There's been a couple of turning points in this game.
Up the Chelsea.
So we'll see, but we are just about to kick off. Thank you so much for everyone that's in the chat. If you're new around here, do subscribe to the channel. What are we on now, subs wise?
250, wasn't it, the other day?
250,000, yeah. We're on the road to 300,000 subs. Early chance here. Good spin.
Oh God.
Emerson. Could have made it 2-2.
Ooh. Go on.
Good strike. Oliver Skip, just absolutely thunderbolts one.
Come on!
Past Kepa. What a goal that is.
What a goal! He's one of our own.
Why are our team asleep? Our team are asleep.
Oliver Skip. He's one of our
So
own.
let's have a look.
Look, they're sleeping.
Richarlison,
This is lovely.
Kulusevski.
They're sleep. Why is no one on him? Where's our right back?
He's lost that. It's
Our left
cleared.
back.
Oliver Skip
Bow.
just thunderbolts it past. It's the underside of the bar.
Kepa needs a stronger wrist there as well, I'm
Puts
afraid.
Chelsea in the Mudrick.
What's Kepa's wrist there? Why doesn't he manage to get that onto the bar? He gets a hand to it. I'm sorry.
That's a good strike.
It's a good strike, but he should. If he gets his hand to
While
it,
he spilled.
I'm sorry. If he gets his hand to that,
he went
that's
right.
terrible goalkeeping. I'm sorry.
Jeez.
I'm not having that. You don't get your hand to that and not tip that over the bar. He got a good hand to that and he lets it straight through.
Boom!
That's pathetic goalkeeping.
That was cool.
Kepa, I'm sorry, man. You've been good, and I'm not trying to abuse you.
Oof.
That's a very bad mistake, and that's cost us a
Let's
goal.
go.
There we go. There's the first goal. A minute into the second half.
Let's go.
Tottenham
Skip.
goal.
Come on, Spurs.
First Tottenham goal at the new stadium against Chelsea in the
Yeah,
league as
and
well.
a Skippy boy.
But I'm heartbroken because again we'll play all right, and then a stupid mistake like that. I don't know what the chat thinks. I don't know what you boys think, but
I tell you,
keeper gets a hand to that. I think they have to tip it
I'll tell you
over.
what the chat thinks. £600 million, money well spent.
Nonsense.
Laughing emojis.
Stupid
600
point.
mil this season. Potter in.
Potter in.
600 mil spent this year. Potter in.
If that's a Spurs fan or a rival
Chelsea,
fan,
you are so whack. Chelsea are bums. What a goal. Smashed it, says Randy Coles. One goal against 520 minutes across all competitions now for Chelsea. Couldn't score with 100,000
What a
cash.
goal, bruv.
in
Boom.
that,
Hold
that
that.
lady of
that's
the
on
night
Kepa, I'm afraid.
establishment.
Hold that. Boom.
Kane being benched is
Koulibaly
odd.
actually. Koulibaly should get a
It
hit to
looks
that.
like Kane's come off.
Kane's come off.
I've met Koulibaly. He's tiny. Taller centre back would have got a head to that.
Yeah, someone said Kane may have come off.
Kane's on the
I haven't
pitch.
noticed, to be honest.
Heartbroken because I wish I could say I can see us scoring 2 here, but I just can't. I can't even see us scoring 1. Forget 2.
Kane's on the pitch.
Kane.
there.
Kepa should have saved Emerson's
Yep.
shot. He did save it. He didn't hold it, which was.
But why does it go through his hands?
Kane's there.
Yeah, it's
He's
not
there.
Kane,
He's there. But the fact it goes through his hand, that's
Oh,
punt it out. Thank you
Chelsea
for following.
struggling to get it away. And it's all Tottenham now.
What did I tell you about second halves?
They're popping it around. Kane.
unlucky.
Potter is in borrowed time, says Arsenal Maniac. Oh,
Just heartbroken because it's just going to be these cries for the manager to go all week and
that's what you used to
There
do.
we
Go on,
look,
go
look,
on.
he's-
Play him!
Look at him. Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
He was in acres of space. Man, you've
That's a
got
ball
to
ball.
play that ball. We don't have any incision in attack at all. Nope.
Well, it's a good ball.
No.
Ref foul. Thank
That's
you.
like it's like the Spurs player was the attacker there, and it was a. Going to be a long week.
He's going to bring a Mudrick on that.
Potter, mate, you've got to change this game, pal, because nobody. I don't want to see you in trouble, but the players are asleep after your team talk, mate. That's not on.
Just showing the bench. Aubameyang on the bench. Mason Mount on the bench. Mudryk on the bench. I don't think he came
Who's
on.
going to score the goals off the bench, though? Aubameyang's not playing.
Oh,
Kane
rolled him.
spins. What ball that is.
Go on. Run, Kulu. Oh, man, why?
Same movie as previous games. It's heartbreaking. And the reason I say heartbreaking is because people wanted to give this go time,
Cross.
but get it out, Chilwell.
Spurs are smothering Chelsea
Come
now.
on, come on, Spurs.
We look.
Don't drop
we look
levels,
absolutely
Spurs.
shocking.
Throw in Spurs. Come on.
This is
Did
not,
Ruben Loftus-Cheek start?
Yeah, he started in the pivot next to Enzo, but I mean, I would hope that the problem is though, how many times can Chelsea fans say, people who are defending Potter like myself say, look, we didn't play badly, but it was a worldie, because it's happening every single game now. Skip just comes, but the keeper should save it.
Skip.
The keeper should save it. And
I think that's doing Skip's strike a little bit of
yeah,
injustice.
man.
It was a good strike.
Good
No,
strike.
I'm not saying it wasn't, but when you get a full hand to it,
Brittle wrist.
and I feel like I feel quite mean saying this about Kepa because he's been all right, but Edouard Mendy saves that. Edouard Mendy saves that.
I don't know, man. I saw
Ping
it.
that,
But
ping that.
oh,
No in it.
Lucky.
tell you what.
No in it.
Ziyech.
See,
But-
Masuaku put one in the top goal against Mendy. Yeah.
But Ziyech, but that's Ziyech trying to go for a magic moment because our phases of play are not good enough. And look, because there was no one there.
It was a
but-
good try.
Good try, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
good
'cause I
attempt.
can see why he done that. Forster was off his line.
No one
Oh,
wants.
lucky. Regan.
Nobody wanted us to
When
have
they trap the ball, trap it and control it, man. It all bounces off their body. Oh, played. Nice little cute pass.
Kane tying the play
Can't see
together.
us, I can't see us coming back into this.
And
lads.
Kulu holds back.
Emerson.
No.
Emerson.
No.
Emerson dancing through
Get
the
out,
defence.
get out.
Oh,
Handball?
that could be
No,
handball.
no.
That.
Tackle,
It was
skip.
here, it was here. No way, no way.
Oh,
What's so lax on the ball from Romero?
I need something a bit stronger than water
Oh,
in this bottle.
he didn't hold
Unlucky.
it. He held it.
Kulusevski.
I need something more strong than water in this bottle at the moment, mate.
Come on, Spurs.
They're going to start calling Potter P45.
Oh,
Over the lane, they says Star Lord.
it's only one way this game's going at the moment.
Graham Shocker says Ty Jenk.
bloody
Good ball.
Oh,
Charlison.
Spurs given the advantage. I don't know what's
Can
Longley
stop
doing on the
a
left?
clash of
wing?
heads.
Every game, every single game, I come into it thinking it can only get better. Things aren't going to get worse for us.
That looked.
nah,
that would be
sad.
harsh.
Every-
Yeah, that's harsh. Yeah,
Every single game.
It definitely is.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's harsh. Yeah, man, it's harsh.
It wasn't in an unnatural side.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
his
think.
bad side.
Look, if I were in
I
the
don't know what
stadium,
the rules are.
Yeah.
I would be appealing for it if I were in the stadium and it happened to a Spurs player, but
I can't remember whether it can't hit your hand and
Yeah.
that was one season, wasn't it?
If
Now-
you can point to your teammate and then it hits your hand, it's
Yeah.
like it's a red.
knows?
It's just.
Silver Roller says, "We love you, Potter. Please stay." I think he's saying that
Arsenal
ironically.
fan, something.
Potter getting schooled.
It's a
by
goal
the
kick.
Spurs kit man.
What's he doing with the ball behind his hand like that?
This Chelsea guy wants to cry just like Rory Potter in.
Rory's Potter out. I'm not Potter out.
Rory goes against the grain. That's what-
Rory's a contrarian.
Rory
but-
just says anything that.
Well, I can understand why fans want Potter out. I don't want to cry. I don't think we necessarily deserve to win the game. It just breaks my heart that we can't seem to produce anything. I'm not moaning or saying that we deserve any better than this. Like, please, if I've given off that impression, that's not what I'm trying to say here at all. But it frustrates me though. 1 minute after half time, you have our defenders sleeping. You give Skip a completely free run, and he hits it and goes straight through the keeper's hands. Any fan's going to be disappointed at
To be
that.
fair, he made the challenge to get the ball skipped. Did
No, I'm not taking anything away from
Yeah,
Skip.
of course.
He did what he had to there, and he got a little stroke of luck from the keeper to get the goal. But at least we're getting some possession now, And
this game ain't over, man. It's a big game. ahead.
feels like it, mate. I'm
It's
going to be
not
honest
over,
with you.
man. There's
I
so
hope
much
you're right, Dean.
There's
But
so much football to play.
Yeah, there's a lot of football.
Yeah, there's so
but
much
where's
football
the
to play.
goal going to come from?
Bro, the
He's
game
just
is
thrown
95
it into
minutes.
touch.
You got another 40 minutes.
But where's the goal coming from?
30 minutes, sorry. 35 minutes.
GP, Graham, please come up with something. I'm rooting for you, pal, but
And he always changes his squad. Like, he don't have a settled 11, does he?
it's hard because I was critical of the fact he never picked the same formation or team, but when you've got a squad of 31, you just, if you pick the same squad every week, you're just going to get players that are going to be toxic, and we have had
those
that in
cheeky
the past.
passes
So
that will. We need to be concentrating, man.
but it's this, look, you'll just low block, we're passing it around, but we don't look like scoring a goal.
Chelsea coming back into the game.
Yeah, slowly.
I love how you guys are more positive about my team than me at the moment.
It's just the way it is,
Yeah,
isn't
I'm
it?
just realistic, man. I'm just like, look.
No, and look, it's always that with time to go in the game, and one goal you're never safe, but we haven't scored in
Yeah,
so
look at the
many
players you got on the pitch. It's
Go
not
on,
like
Ball.
No,
Sterling.
Off, that was off.
He was out, I think.
Referee
Yeah.
does
It's
say it
not.
was
It's
out.
not like you got players on the pitch. Even though you're losing, you got players that can change the game all over the pitch.
Who's going to score the goal?
I don't know, man. It come from anything.
Tom, what
Who's the
players, would you,
Zacharias
what,
coming
what
on?
players would you get rid of this summer?
Oh, it's loads. I mean, going through our squad, Havertz has to go, I think. I really like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but I think his time at the club probably is up. Ziyech, I like him, but he's. I don't think he's. I don't think
Rumours
he's the
about
club
him
player we
coming
want.
to West Ham.
Yes,
Do
I
you
remember that. I do
That's
remember
what
that.
it is,
I mean, I think he'd take PSG, but I think perhaps Koulibaly we might take the L on and get rid
Koulibaly?
of. I think so. He's not made our. He's not
He hasn't been
been.
great, has he?
I know against Spurs he was good.
Yeah.
Like, so maybe that, but I think we need a midfielder in with Enzo, Aspi.
Aspi,
his
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
It's sad, but he should have gone last summer, if we're being honest.
Oh, come on.
There's just so many different players that should have gone, but now we're shelling out money for players. It's not going to be easy to get these players off our books.
No. What about Mason Mount?
Oh,
Yeah, Mount.
I can't say anything about Mount and not be abused by a section of our fan base. So this is what I'll say about him, right? He's been at our club since he's 11. He's had probably the worst abuse of any Chelsea player I've ever known. And I want him to do well so badly. And he has done well. But it's been about 12 months now. He's been really out of form.
Yeah.
And how long do you give him? How long do you say, look, he's been at our club for X number of years, and he's out of form? Eventually, form is temporary, class is permanent, but if your form isn't temporary...
Yeah, I don't know. I see Mason Mount is a player that I don't know.
What do you guys think of him as opposition fans?
I just don't rate him. But, like, he's good.
Lots
He's a
of
good
people
player.
don't.
He's a
Lots
good
of
player.
people
Look,
don't.
look, let me. When I say I don't rate him, he's a good player, but I think he's overhyped as a player.
Yeah.
I think there's so many more black folk, like players like Foden, Bellingham. They're all black. They're all better than him. I think.
Lots of people don't rate Mason Mount. I'm not.
'Cause when you look at a Mount and you look at a Bellingham, now you can tell the difference.
I find it odd that a lot of Chelsea fans were talking about Mount. He's about to come on.
And watch him
Zakaria as well.
Watch me.
I find it odd that a lot of Chelsea fans used to say that Rice was overrated when they've, some
And they all
of the
want
players
Rice
speak
at the
about,
same time.
Mason Mount.
Go on, please.
Felix? Oh, good
He
block.
can't shoot. He can do everything but shoot, that lad. But the thing is, like, Declan Rice within our fan base has got the same divide that Mount has. Half our fan base want him.
It's because your fan base don't know ball.
And also Rice was a Chelsea boy and seemingly loves our club, but half our fan base,
Oh, that's a good ball, unlucky.
half our fan base think he's awful, and he's not an awful player.
What, Rice?
We're saying with Mount, he's not as bad as the worst of our fan base say he is.
So what do you
and
think
he's
of
not
Rice?
as good as the best
What
of
do
our
you
fan
think
base
of
say
Rice?
it. I think he's a very good player. He's a very good player. I think next to Enzo Fernandez, he could be as good as he wants to be, and I would personally consider taking him. Yeah, but
Good ball.
Is he as good or better than Bellingham? That's a debate to be had
different
there.
players, I think.
Different.
Don't foul.
Rice is more of a DM, isn't he? And Bellingham's more of an 8. But half an hour that I said against Southampton that his team talk at half time was the biggest of his career. And I think the
What the
subs,
hell is that?
the subs he's going to make are going to be probably the biggest of his. The decisions he makes between now and the end of this game might be the biggest in his career. I think that's number 12.
Ziyech and Mount. So what's he doing? 3 in the middle.
Mount might be playing on the wing,
On the
mate.
wing.
And I don't. The problem with Mount as well,
And Loftus on Zakaria. Okay.
as far as I can see from watching Chelsea, right, the problem with Mount is nobody actually knows what his best role is because he doesn't play an 8 enough, and people don't think he's strong enough to play as an 8. He isn't our best 10. Joao Felix is, and he's not a winger. At some point, he has to become something. He can't be a player that can play 3 positions, but isn't that amazing at any of them, right?
Zakaria's already picked up the ball a couple of times.
No.
I think, I mean, with the divide over, I see it more in Chelsea than any other club. There's so much divide in terms of this player's fantastic, and then other people say, no, he's awful, and all of this sort of thing. And then, you know, opposition players, should we buy this player, should we that player? Some people say, you know, the Rice situation, you know, no, he's not any good, we don't want him here, we don't want him here. And then the other half are saying, oh, he's the best thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to be brutally harsh with you here, Tom, right? And I'm going to be brutal with you here.
Be brutal with me, Mick.
Because you're 2003 FC.
No, we're not.
You've got a
No, we're not.
You've got a large fan base.
Behave.
I'm telling you, Tom. I'm going to be harsh with you. Let me speak. Let me speak before you. You've got a large chunk of the fan base that have literally come since the money have come, and they're FIFA fans that don't know what they're talking about. And they don't know how to, you know. And I'm not accusing every Chelsea fan. I know Chelsea fans that have been going to the bridge for a long, long time, many years. But they're FIFA fans that don't know, you know, that they look at the ratings on the FIFA cards rather than looking at, you know, footballers. That is why you're so divided. There's more divided than any other fan base.
We are a very toxic fan base. I would be the first to accept that. But all I would say is, if you're telling me we're 2003 FC, you should have been at Stamford Bridge during the memorial for Gianluca Vialli. It was the most touching moment I've probably seen at a football ground. I was a tear went to my eye. Yeah, I mean, some of our online fan base are trolls. They're what some might call casuals, but most Chelsea fans I know and talk to know the club, love the club, whether they've supported us since before 2003, after 2003. I mean, I was born in the era where I was growing up, so I know a very little bit before 2003, but my dad was going to the bridge in the 90s, 80s.
Who's got a bigger fan base, Chelsea or West Ham?
Bloody hell. That's a horrible question.
No.
No.
And I want you to. But I want
define
you to.
fan base,
I want you to hit me with facts. Who's got the bigger fan base, Chelsea or West Ham?
West Ham?
There's more Twitter.
Chelsea. Of course, Chelsea.
There's more Twitter morons on Chelsea.
Let me say this, right?
I think West Ham got a better real fans.
West Ham have
before
probably
2003,
proper fans.
Yeah, before 2003, Chelsea had won a very, very similar amount of trophies than West Ham.
more recently than West Ham, though.
More recently.
But what I don't, the thing that I dislike the most about West Ham fans, if I don't have a particular dislike for West Ham.
No.
The thing that I dislike the most about West Ham fans is a view that it was West Ham Football Club that won the 1966 World Cup. Nonsense. West Ham had some amazing players in that team, but to claim a World Cup for your club is ridiculous. And I think some West Ham fans have slightly bigger egos than perhaps.
Then he's merited.
Then perhaps is merited it. I'm just being brutal with you, Nicky, right? I'm just being brutal with you, Nicky, mate.
We're talking facts here.
Go on. That was a fair tackle.
I would be a hypocrite.
I'm going to be brutal.
Put him in.
He's in the middle.
Put him in. Oh.
Why did he let that go out? Okay, that's fine. No, we're just being brutal with each
No,
other.
we're just being
Nicky.
brutal. But I'm just saying, like before Roman Abramovich came along.
You don't think West Ham won the '66 World Cup, do you, Nicky?
West Ham didn't win it. The history books doesn't say West Ham; it says England. But
Half your fan base thinks it was.
Well, that's up to them, isn't it? You know what I mean? But you know, you have to be realistic in terms of, you know, they've got a bigger fan base because of the money, and nobody. There's a lot of fans that support Chelsea that had not even heard of Chelsea before 2003.
What I'll say is, if I'm out and about in London and I see someone that says they support Chelsea or someone that says they support West Ham, I would immediately think to myself, the West Ham fan is more hardcore automatically than the Chelsea fan would be, because, well, it's the way it works with big clubs, isn't it? Like, you don't, if you're a fan that doesn't have it in your blood, or you're not from the area, you're not, realistically, people aren't just going to say I support West Ham.
Yeah.
So, but that's any big club. But look at PSG. There are probably millions of PSG fans since the money, or, you know, Man City, or when Blackburn won the Premier League, there were loads of Blackburn fans from London. Like, it's not a Chelsea thing. That's say exactly the same about any club.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm
Man
not just, but I'm just saying now. But out of any,
Oh, go on!
praise Forster.
Forster.
Out of any club,
What do we have to
they
do
seem
to
be
score?
the fan base that divide the players the most. You know, some people love them, some people like that. I see them arguing all the time.
Chelsea, yeah.
Chelsea, yeah.
It's so toxic. It's horrible.
Because there are a lot of
What
fans
do
that
we
don't
have
know
to
what they're talking
do?
about.
What do we have to do to score a bloody goal? I'm fed up with this. We can't get any kind of lucky break at the moment in front of goal.
Oh, Tottenham, man. That's what I'm saying. We need to focus on this.
London Nomad donated £5. There's a lot of debate about this. London Nomad donated £5 and said, "You are 2003 FC mainly because before that your level of success was nowhere near the Russian."
I'm sorry, but we made a Champions League quarter-final, beat Barcelona.
Champions League quarter-final.
No, but people are telling me. But I'm sorry, we won the FA Cup. We have won the FA Cup twice. We won the Cup Winners' Cup.
All right,
How
but
many?
you're trying to. You can't.
We had a.
You're
We've
trying
had.
to argue
I'm
the
sorry.
point
I'm
that
sorry.
You was more. You were.
No, I'm not
since
saying.
Roman's
No, I'm not
come,
saying that. We were more successful under Roman. But people telling me, I'm sorry. If I offer
You were a lot more successful.
if I
under
offer
Roman.
you as a Spurs fan right now, the decade we had in the 90s.
Yes, I'll take it. Well,
2 FA Cups, was it 2 or 3? 2 FA Cups, 1 defeated final, a League Cup, a Cup Winners' Cup, a Community Shield. You would take that right now over what you've had this last decade. Yes, you made a Champions League final, but I mean Leeds were a game away from Champions League final, mate. I mean,
yeah, but what you're trying to say, you've gone from winning Charity
we've
Shields
been
to
better.
Champions Leagues to
Yeah, of
leagues.
course.
The big difference.
Of course, but you can't say a club stands 3 FC when we have our name in the FA Cup. You know, we were competing for the Premier League in the
We're gonna have
90s.
an FA Cup, right?
We did compete for the league in the 90s.
When?
We didn't win it. The season we made the Champions League, we finished 4 points behind the eventual champions, closer than we finished the last 5 seasons under Roman. So, I'm not saying we were the best team in England. I'm not trying to say that, but I'm sorry. We brought in Ruud Gullit, we brought in Gianluca Vialli. These are world-class Ballon d'Or winning players.
They were
George Weah,
I mean this with the greatest respect. They was world-class players that were heading towards the end of their career.
Sure they were, but it's an iconic player. These are iconic players, and these are players that, you know, talk about Spurs. We had Glenn Hoddle coaching us. We had Glenn Hoddle playing for us. Like, to say that we were a nothing club was just not the case. We were a
No, you were a decent,
top 6 team.
decent club.
decent
We were a
club,
top
but
6 team.
nowhere near the
We're a
level
top
that
6
you
team.
are now.
We made the Champions League the year before Roman joined. People forget that. We weren't just suddenly really. We were. Compare us to Newcastle though. We were far better than pre-takeover than Newcastle were. I don't see because Newcastle fans are perhaps one kind of more traditional club. Just because it's Geordies from Newcastle.
Damn rail.
I don't hear
Playing
anyone
through,
saying Newcastle are 2021 FC.
Well, they will be if they go on to win, you know, all of this stuff, and then.
See, I don't think it will. I think people will
get-
say Newcastle's a traditional club that
Played.
Chelsea's an
That has a
attractive
passionate
club
fan base.
because Chelsea's
I
an
know.
attractive club because it's in London. At the time, at 2003, they was winning things. You know, they
I'll
was.
quote Jimmy Greaves, most classy and beautiful part of most classy football club that there is in the world.
Say that again.
That's what Jimmy Greaves said. Chelsea. Love the name. Most beautiful, classy football club in
Play
the world.
Spurs.
Greavesy said it, and Greavesy probably did more, probably has an even bigger legacy at Spurs than he does at Chelsea.
He played for us. Played for us all, Jimmy Greaves. But yeah, listen, it is a game of opinions, of course. There is a lot of talk about it. I won't bore you with the comments, but some of them are.
In the words of a Twitter friend, I'm probably defending Chelsea better than we can defend our own goalposts at the moment. A technical fault. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's just the second time it's happened now.
He's wiring himself up.
Victoria Roberts says, I'm worried for Chelsea, they might never score again.
I share your pain, Victoria. I share your...
We've got 20 minutes left plus stoppage time.
Chelsea had Tor, Andre, Flo, Zola, Damien Duff, etc. They were a very strong team before Abramovich. Damien Duff definitely,
Duff
100% post-Roman.
In that first summer, yeah. But
Tor, Andre, Flo was a nobody. Zola was...
Tor, Andre, Flo was a nobody. I'm not...
Before he joined Chelsea, I didn't know who he was.
He was class for us.
Yeah, he was class for you, but it was a nobody. It was, you know.
Yeah, but who had heard of Paolo Di Canio before he joined West Ham? Like, I mean, he was at Sheffield Wednesday, but you get my point.
I think by the time he joined West Ham, everyone had heard of him because he started shoving around referees.
Yeah, of course, yeah, but
same as Dimitri Payet. Who'd heard of Dimitri Payet before he came to West Ham?
No, but,
Felix,
but is the measure of a club whether they sign players that are big names, or is it making great players? Because you look at like Brighton, who'd heard of Mitoma before, or Trossard before he joined Brighton.
But that's the beauty
Top
of football.
Players now.
I love that. Kante at Chelsea.
Kante at Leicester as well.
Yeah,
right?
Leicester.
Kante, we're bought him for 500 grand, and suddenly he's really good. Like
Mahrez.
I
was just saying.
You know, so like that's why I
even like that Julian Alvarez that Man City have got. Like,
he was good at Boca
He was
Juniors.
good at Boca Juniors, but no one. Let's be real. I wasn't watching Brazilian.
No.
Argentinian football, South American football, but
Don't worry, there's people that will be telling you they were.
They were, they were, staying up at 1 a.m. watching the game, but he's coming in. He's. I think he's brilliant.
I'd like to know how long this stoppage actually was, because I know it's a 72 minutes, but we'll have a bit more than that. I mean, look, this is looking dire for us.
The game's levelled itself out again. There's not been a lot going on.
But
Spurs have stopped pushing.
Can any of you tell me a time Chelsea have had like really look like scoring?
To be fair, you've had your literally the last 10 minutes. You've had decent chances.
Felix or Havertz rolls the ball and the keeper claims it. I mean,
but it's good passages of play to get you there.
If I were a betting man, which I'm not, I would still probably say I think Spurs are more likely to score again than Chelsea are
I hope so.
Get
see what I'm saying?
That's a foul.
That's a booking.
No?
That booking, no?
What's he given?
That's a foul, surely. Or for dissent.
Yeah, Mount safe.
That's so petulant from the ref, that. I don't like that.
Who's that? Sure.
But if he's blown the whistle, you don't blow the whistle for dissent.
He got the ball, though.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, he got the ball.
Yeah, but does he blow the whistle for a dissent yellow like that? He must have given the foul there.
Yeah, he got the ball. That's not a foul. He got the ball.
But why is he stopped the game? To book Mount for dissent?
Benny Hanna is saying Benny Hanna. Is this a watch along or argue show? It's a bit both.
I love a debate.
You have to have a debate. They'll argue, fiery.
It's not
fiery in the studio.
It's not been a vintage game, has it?
Abdul Hanif says Nicky needs to ask Don Robbie to cover championship games when West Ham get relegated. Well, we'll see, Abdul.
What about when Chelsea get relegated?
We'll see. At this point, we might finish above you.
London
good switch.
Championship. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Oh no.
Cross. It's like watching teenagers football.
Yeah.
Scrappy game.
It's been horrible.
Good tackle. Richarlison. Strike!
Oh, unlucky. Richie.
Nowhere near.
For his first goal of the season.
Nowhere near, lad.
Good try, innit? Good try. At least try to attempt on goal. At least.
No, he knows he's playing. He knows he's playing Chelsea, so he's out of form. He'll probably get his goal. So.
Unlucky.
Dignato Zahid says, Nicky, mate, your ball knowledge is very embarrassing, so you not knowing a player doesn't mean anything.
No, Nicky's got ball
What?
knowledge. That's not very nice.
I was just saying that Tor Andre Flo wasn't a name before he went to Chelsea.
He was at Blackburn after Chelsea, wasn't he? Before I was born.
But I think he played in the Norwegian league, didn't he?
There is people out there that are.
But are you criticising us for finding a player that became a very good striker?
Havertz! Oh, well claimed.
Why
Done really
can't
well.
we score?
It's offside, no?
Lads, I'm banging my head against this table. What do we need to do to score a goal?
Oh, no, you got
better than that.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you that.
But teams just play a low
He's
block.
looking lively though, Sterling. He's coming into the game.
Players just put a low block
Played
against
Romero.
us, and we just look
Good turn.
useless. Like,
It's getting a little bit.
Chelsea are
Getting a little bit naughty again.
Kulusevski, there's no need.
There's no love lost between these. Richarlison is the Walmart R9. They was telling me during the World Cup that he was the real R9.
Yeah, no. The thing is, Richarlison, he plays well for Brazil country, and then I don't know, man. Even if we get the Everton Richarlison, I'll be happy with that. 12 goals, 11 goals.
Sometimes they just take a little bit to. Ty L says someone just tried to scam me using DR Sports name. Please report it. We don't want anyone getting scammed.
Is that my football knowledge or something?
I don't know. Please report it to the authorities.
Please.
Let us know what happened.
Please, just do something.
Come on, Spurs.
Depek the Great says, come on Tottenham Hotspur, score the next goal,
to Chelsea, I
please.
swear down.
Just do something.
need to
I
beat
don't
Chelsea,
even care.
man.
Just do something. Come on.
Offside.
No, he went. But look there, though. He got a great overlap there, and just straight into the defender. Like,
13 minutes left.
Cheese Monster says, you can't score because you spent £600 million on luxury players who came for a paycheck and not a single one is a striker. On £100 million on a useless fridge who is out on loan and £10 million on a finished Aubameyang.
why do people talk about fridges and not other
Who's the
kitchen
fridge?
appliances?
Who's the fridge?
Lukaku?
Oh, Lukaku, yeah.
Is he still on loan? Is he out on loan?
Why can't they call him a washing machine instead of a fridge?
Fridge, I don't know.
Fridge is tall.
Well, I guess, but is Lukaku tall? I mean,
Header.
Oh, he's pretty tall. I've met him.
that's a bit. But it's just hit and hope like that. It's not.
I'm forced to calm that game down.
We look out of ideas. When did you meet Lukaku, Mr. Hawkins?
After a game somewhere, come walking out, I think at Chelsea.
Chelsea. Was he
I
mouthing
think
off?
first time round, not
Was
the
he
second
mouthing
time.
off about our club or something?
No, I don't even think he was playing. I think he just came walking out one day. And, no, but not a lot of people knew.
Who's
him.
the
Hong Ming Son's coming on.
Who's the biggest name player both of you boys have met?
Me, Harry Kane.
You met Kane?
Yeah, I was in the box at the new stadium. I was on. His box is right next to the, like the executive level.
That's
And
insane.
then he just walks in. What's up, Kane? And then Ledley King, legend.
Ledley, great player.
Legend, yeah.
What have happened to him without the injuries?
Oh, mate,
Ledley King.
Mate.
I met Declan Rice last week.
Met Deckers.
He knew who I was.
Yeah.
He told his brother that he saw me.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
You're iconic, Nicky. Man.
No, it's great,
It's
yeah.
good though. The players actually even.
Who's the biggest one I've ever met? Who did I meet?
Like
I met Gianluca Vialli in outside Harrods
you?
or
Yeah.
Harvey Nichols
Yeah.
or something like that when I was a kid.
I wish
He
I'd met.
was smoking a fag.
I
I wish I'd met Luca.
I met Jan Vertonghen in the South Bank.
That's
He was just
very.
walking with his missus. Hey, I was like, right, Jan.
Zola, I met Zola.
I was on a London bus and saw Leroy Sané walking down Bond Street once.
Leroy Sané, yeah. But who's the big? I saw Beckham. I wouldn't say I met
Yeah,
him. I
yeah, you
saw
saw
him in
David
an
Beckham.
airport. Yeah. It's getting a
Plus,
little
you
bit
could
naughty.
get within like 2 meters of
It was in an airport. No, you couldn't get within him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I saw him.
Saw him, yeah.
But my brother, who doesn't like football at all, was sitting in the airport once, and he was in Valencia airport, and the whole Barcelona team, including Messi, came through.
Oh, wow.
And he did not have a clue.
Who they were? Wow.
That's insane.
I've seen Gaza at the airport. He was off his face though. He was in
I met some big ones in Italy. I met Inzaghi.
Inzaghi.
Yeah, I met
Any
Inzaghi.
big West Ham name. Who's the biggest West Ham name you met?
Biggest West Ham name. I've met
Like Brooking, people like that.
I've met Brooklyn. Yeah, I've met Brooklyn a couple of times.
Noble.
Yes, I've met Noble.
Marky Nobes.
Who's the biggest? Billy Bonds.
Billy Bonds,
Billy
yeah.
Bonds, yeah.
Player and manager as well, wasn't he?
Player and manager, Mr. West Ham.
Yeah.
You know, apart from Bobby Moore, he's
Bobby
probably
Moore,
our
yeah.
favourite son. To some, Bonds say, some people say Bonds is number one.
Really?
Yeah, that's how well known he is. But in terms of, it'd be Billy Bonds is the biggest West Ham player.
Can see everyone laughing
Come
at
on.
Chelsea losing here.
Yeah. Need it.
Thank you.
Aubameyang's getting ready.
But why? But if you're going to give him
10 minutes.
if you're going to give him game time, why are you giving him 10 minutes in injury time? Same
Well,
with
both
Mudryk,
of them
like-
are coming on.
But they're on hiding to nothing if they're coming on for 10 minutes. They're not even going to get their heads in the game in that time. Like,
I think there'll be about 5 minutes added time.
it's getting
Right.
harder and harder to
About
kind
15
of
minutes left of this
sit
game.
and watch this every week.
Son? Oh, it's flicked over Kane, puts it in!
Yes!
And that is game over. And it's that old combination, Son and Kane. Son takes a corner, flicked on, and Kane
268.
sticks it in the back of the
How many
net.
trophies have you won in the
Oh,
last
here
15
we
years,
go.
mate?
Here we go. Just
How many trophies have you won,
tell-
mate?
Just tell the camera you're upset.
How many trophies have you won in the last 10 years?
Tell the camera you're upset.
Go win a trophy, mate.
Tell the camera you're upset, mate.
Go win a trophy, mate.
Mate, it's 2-0. Yeah.
Go cry with your
14
Audi.
points clear of Chelsea.
Go
Harry
celebrate
Kane,
with your Audi Cup, mate.
268.
Go celebrate with your Audi Cup.
There we go.
2003. Just talking. Let's go.
Go celebrate with your Audi Cup, mate.
Mate,
alright?
I know you're hurting it.
Go celebrate with your Audi Cup, mate.
You're hurt. I get it, man. I get it.
Unmarked, back post. And it's 2-0.
2-0.
Hey, West Ham scored 3 in like 7 minutes at the Spurs Stadium.
Hey,
didn't they?
jeez.
That was, a
That
couple of
was
years ago,
weird,
yeah.
That was, but
It is 2-0. Chelsea, you're done, says Silver Ronin.
Boys.
Chelsea tried to cheat and it's backfired. Ha, ha, ha.
where's your trophy, mate?
Academy 2, Chelsea 0.
15 years, mate.
Victory, Ryan says, don't talk
15 years,
trophies.
mate.
Chelsea
The
0.
salt
15
is
years.
pouring, says Ryan.
600 million. Jeez.
Chelsea fans about to cry.
Don't touch what you can't afford, pal. Don't touch what you can't afford.
Oh, man.
These
Beautiful.
subs are useless now. I mean,
Beautiful to see.
Todd Bowley wants a refund.
I'll
Going down,
Trying to
going
think of
down,
an
says
appropriate
was lost
forfeit.
but now found.
Beautiful.
Haven't scored in a lot of football though, Chelsea.
I think I've been supportive, and I'm not gonna start crying for coaches to go, but I think that he is giving the board a decision to make at this point, unfortunately, and the board are backing him, but the results are just not improving at the moment. You know, 2 wins in 16 now. That's
It's
bad
Koulibaly.
because we're not going to win this game.
No, mate, the game's not over, mate. I'm just gassed we scored. But
It would be the most Spursy thing ever
Yeah,
if we could
exactly,
get 2 goals,
exactly.
but it's not going to happen. Like, we can't get, if we get 1 goal, I'll
Spursy.
probably scream. But
Oh, good work by
That was
Mudryk.
a
That's
nice
a good
ball.
cross.
Yeah.
one people saying he's useless and terrible, and
Pot it in, pot her out, shake it all about, says Anonymous.
Played for.
but if you want a bit of that, Anonymous, you go look at Twitter and you'll see Potter in, Potter out. Todd Bowley, mate, you've got a big decision on your hands.
Chelsea play number 10s in defensive midfield.
Who's the number?
Todd
10?
is the worst thing that's ever happened to Chelsea. More money
Nonsense.
than
Nonsense.
sense.
That's just such a short-sighted point that I look.
Can't wait for expressions to get back from the game. Chelsea,
my mate was-
Chelsea,
my mate's at the
Chelsea,
game,
with your
he was-
dead child.
Nicky Hawkins singing Chelsea songs for me here. Drink that in.
Come on.
That's the only one I know the lyrics to. I think that's the only one you know the lyrics
Go on
to.
a
as
second.
well.
You just
Probably
turned,
the only one we got.
you just turned so sour after the second goal.
This is just.
You start talking about trophies. That's funny. Oh man.
What's that in Harry Potter when they say Potter's dead and then he comes back to life? So anyone wants to cry that Potter's finished,
I
well, he
still
might
think
come back to life.
Chelsea could score one. I still
Well,
think Chelsea could
If
score
we
At
do,
the
that's a
moment.
breakthrough.
Oh, good
Oh,
strike.
lucky.
Nowhere near.
Potter's dead.
Mudryk's at least showing some ambition though. He's
Yeah.
coming on and but probably not showing my pain enough here because
Harry Kane.
I want to just start
piece
crying.
goal.
I want to just sit here and just cry my eyes out at how inept and rubbish we look right now. Lovely. I mean, Kane, look, that's a poacher's goal in it. Back
268.
post. Should we have defended it better? Yes, but that's what Kane does. You know, he puts those away for
My God.
breakfast. And first win against us at the new stadium, and you have to say it is deserved. But it is becoming a trend now, and it was similar under Frank Lampard. You know.
Lucky. We need that lucky bout.
The same under Lampard, right? That actually the second half we come out worse, and that's not good on the manager, is it? I mean,
This guy Mudras always on the ball. Look at him.
does make me happy.
Good Harry Kane.
Played.
Does Lampard
Cast
still
Avada Kedavra on Potter this time.
does Lampard still have a picture outside the London Stadium?
Who?
Do you remember Lampard had a picture outside the
They
London
would never
Stadium?
put
For
a
a bit?
picture outside the
No,
London
the club,
Stadium.
the club put a picture of him
Yeah,
outside.
they
the stadium.
took it down pretty
Yeah,
promptly as well, I'm
yeah.
afraid.
Karen Brady.
Can you imagine that Spurs putting Sol Campbell's picture up? Like, very fair, no.
Put William Gallas's picture. if
Yo,
you want.
William Gareth, yeah, even that.
He was class for us, to be fair. Like, and that's
He played for you all, didn't he? He played for
Yeah.
everyone. Played for Chelsea,
Even
Arsenal,
us
and
putting
Tottenham.
up
Arsenal,
Adebayor
Spurs,
pictures
yeah.
and all.
It's so hard to watch. It's so hard to watch. This is. And football is very cruel.
This
I
way,
know.
yeah.
To say that as a Chelsea fan, you'll probably laugh at me. But
Yeah, I'm so happy he took off Kulusevski and left Richarlison on. Because Richarlison, you need him on in the game.
there's a
like this.
second
Two
ball on
balls
the
on.
pitch. You've got to get that out. Yeah. Is that But if we go and score now, are they going to rule that out?
No, they won't.
I mean, we're not going to score, but you get my point.
Might as well forfeit the UCL match versus Dortmund. No point in playing. 100% loss.
Stupid. Did you watch our first leg? Whoever put that comment, we were doubled their XG and looked
What was the score?
considerably than them. 1-0, but
Oh.
games. And I do agree that like you get that point where it's like you can keep saying that we're winning XG and we're playing better. I mean, we won't have won XG today, but
Oh,
no.
Oh,
But
played Richarlison. Foul, yes. Played.
if my auntie had private parts, she'd be my uncle. You know, that was a very famous AFTV phrase, and unfortunately, I have to say it here. And
Tottenham
took Porro.
that is definitely
late sub.
that is definitely
Richarlison.
just a little treat for
Yeah,
Joao
yeah.
Felix. That is.
Richarlison leaves the field. He hasn't done
He's upset though. There's
anything.
2 minutes
but
left. Play
He's
him.
played well today, I
Yeah.
thought. Just a question for the Chelsea guy: does he regret second Tuchel now? Does it make
No.
does he think if Tuchel can do better than Potter now?
Well, Tuchel's not coming back, so. I mean, if you're saying, do you want me to bring? Would I want to bring Tuchel back? No. Well, it's not going to happen. I don't regret it because I think that that era was just done. He didn't get on with the new owners. It wasn't working. But I mean, I thought Potter was the right choice, but
Too wide for him.
sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes things don't work out, and no, I think Tuchel's era at the club was done at the time, and he's an amazing coach, and whoever gets him will be lucky to have him. He built a great connection with the fans, which he didn't do at previous clubs. But now I think unfortunately it was the end. It's if you had to have a debate about managers at Chelsea, was Potter the right choice for me?
Hustle. Played.
Yeah,
What do you think, Nicky?
I've got no opinion.
Fair
I've got
enough.
no opinion. I would be. I would say. I don't know whether Tuchel would do any better than Potter. With it's different circumstances. Is he more settled? Is he a better manager? Only time will tell.
He's got more
But
experience.
He's got more experience. Yeah, that is for sure. But if you want, Potter to do well, you've got to allow him to gain the experience. Not
I
to
agree with that.
detriment
Injury time.
at your club, but
I agree with that.
in terms of Thomas Tuchel, I mean, I wasn't having Thomas Tuchel at all, to be honest.
And people said, oh, we were better at the start of the season. I mean, we were lucky to win against West Ham at home. I know at Spurs we were robbed, so it kind of cancels out. But, like, we lost to Zagreb. People forget that. I mean, and Potter came in and we were way better in Europe. In his first sort of 10, 15 games, we were looking pretty good.
You know, they're better in Europe than the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
But that was the same in our 15-16 season when we came 10th. I mean, we gave PSG a game over 2 legs. They were better, but Europe, the players are always up for it that bit more, aren't they? And
Ball by Mount.
But
the thing is, what would worry me against Dortmund is if they play a low block like Tottenham have played today, we're not going to score. And that's what football's about. What's Zakaria doing on the right wing?
Header.
I'm sorry, but what's Zakaria doing on the right wing?
6 minutes added on time. We're in the 92nd minute. It's going to be a defeat for Chelsea unless they can pull out a miracle.
Tackle, yeah. Come on, Spurs.
But why is this coming now?
Energy.
Oh.
No, nothing.
It's gone for a corner, I believe.
Play Spurs. Come on. Play Skip has had a wonderful game.
At this point, if we score, it's just a moral victory for us. In it. And that's how pathetic it sounds. That for us to just score a goal would be... We scored 1 goal all month. I know Arsenal had that run under Arteta, but they came out the other side. That's we have a corner coach who was brought in, and you get corners like that don't get past the first man. It's a disgrace when you think about it.
That happens. I think that happens at every club.
We had a set piece coach now where we scored the most goals from set pieces.
But we've got a guy who's supposed to be some innovative data-led tech coach, and I love data in football. But if your corners can't beat the first man, it's just pathetic.
I don't think
Haaland has more goals than Chelsea.
Yep. Not surprised.
How many goals has Chelsea scored?
But our defensive record...
Not as many as Haaland, apparently.
Haaland's got 27 goals. What, in the Prem? Wow.
But
you've not scored more than 27 goals in 25 games?
Oh, no. We've done really badly for goals scored, mate.
Seriously?
Yeah. We can't score for... I think we've scored 3 goals in a game perhaps once this season, and it was Wolves at home. It's just... The owners will just know that they...
Tackle!
The owners will just know that they're going to have to do something they don't want to do if this keeps going on.
Come on, Spurs.
Best thing is this game was on a Sunday, so it didn't ruin my whole weekend. It only ruined like my Sunday afternoon and evening.
Yeah.
Rather than if we played on Saturday and it would ruin my Sunday as well.
If we can get 2 back-to-back London derby wins, to keep 2 clean sheets, impressive. Well played, Stellini.
Don't make me cry.
Don't go anywhere after this game, by the way. We have got the Carabao Cup final stream coming up, which would be interesting. You hosting that one, Alex? Kojo and Big Uggs. Yeah. AGT's in the house, just about to host that cup final stream. Massive game for Newcastle.
Getting home's going to be bonkers, isn't it? Well, with the Newcastle fans everywhere, Spurs.
Do you know what? Funny enough, right? I know that this is White Hart Lane, but the traffic seems to be better when they are playing at home. I don't know what happens. I don't know.
They close off all the roads and everything else, isn't it?
Oh, great, mate. Yeah. I feel for him because he's taken a risk. He's taken a risk to join us, and he was promised time. And no, it hasn't. But he's a very good coach, and he's turned down this lot twice. He knows there's one team in London. All right.
Okay.
Huh? I just want us to win. I'm waiting for the last minute.
pretty much
Romero's done that all game.
toothless Chelsea, I must say that.
Do you see what? And it's like this every game
It's
now.
toothless.
You
You know what? You could go down, you know.
But you guys laughed at me. You're not laughing now, are you?
No, you're not going to go down. Of
You're not
course
going down, mate.
But I don't.
You got 3 more wins to get to 40 points.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we're not even scoring goals for winning games. I mean, yes, we're not going to go down. I'm not going to be one of these people that screams we're going to get relegated. But
Skip again, involved,
it's
getting
pathetic.
busy. Come on, son.
And
Get a third. Poor control, son.
some people saying, "Oh, if
And that is that.
That's it. 3 points.
2-0.
3 points.
White Hart Lane, the curse has been
where's your
lifted.
trophy? Where's your trophy,
There
mate?
we go.
Where's your trophy,
There
mate?
we go.
Where's your trophy,
There
mate?
we go.
Where's
There
your
we
trophy,
go.
mate?
I'll tell you that.
Top 4. Oh, top 4 trophies. Are we Arsenal
Mate.
now? Are we Arsene Wenger
Mate.
now? Top
Mate.
4 trophies.
Okay.
Just hold the L.
Top 4 trophies.
Hold the L.
Top 4
and answer
trophies?
The question
Right.
asked to you, bro.
you want a top 4 trophy, mate?
guys, before we go on, let's sum it up a little bit. Tom, a horrendous form.
It was
continues.
bad, wasn't it? It was bad. But the problem is 15 minutes we look good, and then 70 minutes of absolute rubbish.
Are you worried? Are you seriously worried? What are you worried for? Are you worried for the manager's job? Are you worried for your league positioning? Can you?
For the long term, I'm not worried. For the long term, it's going to become good. I'm worried for the next 6 months because we're now in 10th. We're clinging on to top half by the skin of our teeth, right?
4 points behind Brentford, who have a game in hand. Brighton have 2 games in hand.
What I'm worried about is I don't like our club being toxic. I think it's horrible, and I don't like Graham Potter getting death threats, right? I'm worried that effectively our club's going to become so toxic that we can't succeed. It can't get better because people are moaning, whining, and I worry that it's going to make it impossible for us to ever build for the longer term. But watching those 2 goals again now just breaks my heart.
Yeah, come on, man. Academy boys.
But the reason I ask you guys as neutrals is, what do you guys think our main problem is? Do you think it's just a striker? Because for me, it goes a lot more than that, right? From
me looking in, outside looking in, a striker, clearly you're missing a talisman up front. That's what I said. You want to get because you were talking about Jesus before and stuff. I don't think that you need a bully like Lukaku, the big man at top. And everyone else will play off him.
We tried Lukaku.
Modric, they all play off him.
You need to find an identity.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. You need to find a certain way to play, you know.
That's what Potter's trying to do.
£600 million spent. For me, it's too much too soon. You know, Bowley was going around collecting players like he's collecting Premier League stickers, and he's not looked into too much what he needs rather than who he can get.
Everyone,
and I do understand that it's for the future, and I think some of these players will come good, but I think he spent too much money.
I knew it was going to be hard to integrate that number of players. I mean, it's so difficult. We've got so many new signings, but I mean, it is true. Is there something to, like, we have to see something. I knew how hard a job it would be for us to really, really improve. You know, with 6, 7, 8 new players in the January window. But if you're going lose, something has to give.
Yeah.
And that's any club. That's
I
not
agree.
Chelsea being impulsive. That's not us sacking managers because we want to. And I don't want us to. If we can avoid sacking Graham Potter, I would avoid it. If we can get 40 points this season, I would avoid sacking him. But if we keep on losing, how much time of defeat is it going to be?
Who's your next game?
Leeds at home,
Tough
which
one.
they're going to be up for.
Yeah.
They hate us.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
We don't like them, but
Spurs' good form continues.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Without Conte.
Yeah, without Conte, Stellini, 100% record is intact. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the players. Oliver Skip to get his first goal against Chelsea in the derby. Amazing for him. And Harry Kane to get 268.
Scorcher of a goal. by the way.
Yeah, scored. Yeah, brilliant goal. Højbjerg, man of the match for me, played brilliant. Romero being Romero, and yeah, I'm just happy we beat Chelsea. We stopped the rot. And yeah,
Stop the rot?
Yeah, stop the rot from.
We need to stop the rot, mate. Stop the rot.
Top 4 again is our aim, and hopefully we can end the season in top 4.
There you get top 4, mate. I'll give you a trophy and shake your hand, all right?
There we go. There's an offer. Thank you very much for joining us on DR Sports for this watch along. Don't go anywhere. The Carabao Cup final watch along is coming up straight after this. AGT's on with a host of brilliant guests, so don't go anywhere. Big game for Newcastle, big game for Man United. Let's see who wins that one. But guys, thank you so much. Where can people find you on socials, Steve?
Oh yeah, Dean Pinero on socials, Spurs for Life community group. And Twitter, Dean Fusebox. Yeah,
Tom, it's been interesting, mate. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
What are you going to do? I thought you were going to hold hands.
I don't know what to. I don't know, mate. I'll do a Ziyech on you. I'm Tovers98 on Twitter. Drop me a follow, and you'll hear all my rubbish football opinions if you want to.
There we go.
I try to be as positive as I can, but it's hard at the moment. All right.
There you go. Thank you very much for watching us. Peace.
Come on, Spurs.